You're strapped in to a live radio broadcast on Pure Rock Radio.
You know it is 1984, man. You read the book, now hear the movie. Now hear the record, see the tour, live the year. You know what they say, man. This isn't no pyromania. This is first degree uncontrollable arson, man. You know, pyromania is for kids. Would you rather play with matches or a pipe bomb?
Welcome to the Used Bin. All music, all the time. What are you listening to? Used Bin Radio. Hey boys and girls, it's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's time to join Joe and Brad on the Used Bin Radio Show, your favorite spot on the FM dial for all the latest music news. How's it going, brother man?
You know what I'm doing, man. I'm ruling the world.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have lots to talk about.
This is off the brand new Ronnie Dio. That's the name, right? Ronnie Dio?
Ronnie James.
That's
Ronnie
cool.
James Dio. Yeah, this is the Holy Diver record. So yeah, this is the one that came out. What did it come out last year?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, so anyway, it's Tuesday night. We want to hear what you've been listening to, and the way you do that, as always, is give us a call here in the studio at 888-405-7440.
Or if you really want to get a hold of us, you know how to do it. Self-addressed stamped envelope to the Used Bin Radio Show, P.O. Box 2112, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah,
90064.
Yeah, if you need any information or an autographed 8x10 of Brad and Joe, that's where you send the Sazy, and we'll take care of your request.
And who wouldn't want an autographed 8x10?
Exactly.
I can give you one of my tuchas.
Sure. You know, in the year 1984, that's what everybody wants, so keep the letters coming.
And let's roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So, brother man, what have you been listening to? What's on your turntable these days, or cassette player? You an LP guy or cassette guy?
Oh, well, you know, I'm generally an LP guy, although I have to say I'm liking the cassettes because, you know, I like to listen to the tunes in the car.
Yeah.
So I like to do that.
Yeah, and I can't bring my record player into the car.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't work.
It skips.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
When I go over bumps.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Yeah, the plugs are tough.
Yes.
I know. Anyway, my parents have this great Datsun, so I do every once in a while like to, I like to mess with them a little bit, and I throw in a cassette, maybe something they're real uncomfortable with, like an old Saxon record or something.
Very nice.
Yeah, they don't like that so much. If I'm in my folks' Datsun,
right,
and we're listening to music, it's usually like a Streisand record,
sure,
or like a Simon and Garfunkel, record. Every once in a while, my parents love the jazz singer, the Neil Diamond record.
Sure,
they
good
love
one.
That. Yeah, they love that. So, and I don't mind that so much because I'm a fan of that stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, my parents in their Buick, they upgraded, so they have a cassette player now because they just used to have the AM/FM, but they got cassette player in there now, and so a lot of times Mom will have a Johnny Mathis cassette sitting in there,
right,
and like when she's not looking, I'll pop in like a Scorpions cassette or something like that, and just leave it in there.
Yeah.
So when she's firing up the vehicle and heading out for the grocery store,
blackout comes cranking on.
She gets a little blackout.
It's
sure,
awesome.
Yeah, very nice.
I love that.
But what else have you been listening to?
Well, I'll tell you, man. I went to a movie. I actually went to a couple movies this week because sometimes I like to go to the film. I like to go to the cinema.
Sure.
I do.
Sure.
I enjoy it.
A little cinema show is nice.
A little cinema show doesn't hurt.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Although I will say prices are going up. It's like $250 now.
Yeah, well, you look at it like this. A night now at the movies, is what? It's $2.50 or what is it? $2.25, something like that, right, for your ticket.
Plus like 50 cents for popcorn.
Right, and then you got another 50 cents or so for your drink, 25 cents for your drink.
You could end up blowing $5 just to go see a motion picture.
And at the end of the day, I'd rather spend $5 on a concert shirt.
Sure,
I'm being honest.
Definitely,
with you.
definitely.
Yeah,
or $4.99 at Music Plus for something good on vinyl.
It is kind of the bummer of it.
Indeed.
But whatever, I like going to the movies, so you suck it up and you go.
That's right.
So anyway, but I went and saw the Indiana Jones movie, The Temple of Doom, because I loved Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Sure.
You're a fan.
I was a fan.
Yeah. That Harrison Ford
He's good. It's
pretty good.
Yeah, he's Han Solo, but this new series of films he's doing, these are pretty cool too.
But that's the thing with Harrison Ford is Han Solo really is Indiana Jones in space.
That's true.
So it's not a stretch.
That's true.
If
Just
you
a
think
different.
about
He's
it.
got a hat and a whip
and no gun
instead of right.
It's wacky.
Instead of firing a Greedo.
Yeah.
Greedo.
Right, which is fine. I mean, I'm good with it, but I did enjoy. I liked it. I thought the kid in the movie, that short round, I thought was a little weird.
Right.
But that was sort of I don't know. I'm not quite sure why they did that. I felt like he was like comic relief. But there's a great scene in there with snakes. And I'm not a big snake guy.
Right.
Great scene in there though with some snakes. Very uncomfortable stuff, but a solid film, and I thought a pretty good sequel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of sequels, you probably by now, because I know we're both Star Trek geeks. You've seen Search for Spock.
Dude.
So the third in the series.
Well, this is so funny about Star Trek is that first movie was
No
not
bueno.
good. No bueno. Is right.
V'ger was no bueno.
Dude, how do you start a movie like it was like a silent movie for 20 minutes?
Right.
It was so weird. Anyway, not a fan of that.
And I was so bummed when they killed off Spock in the last movie. I thought that was pretty much the end of it. So I'm glad they figured out a way, with the Genesis device.
Which is genius.
Yeah, that was very cool.
But Wrath of Khan should have been the first movie.
Right.
I mean, they
Agreed.
really... I don't understand them sometimes, man. Like, did they really think that they had to, like, reintroduce you to the Enterprise? Did they really have to reintroduce you to Star Trek? Couldn't they have just started with the Wrath of Khan? Anyway.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
true.
true.
Search for Spock is brilliant. If you haven't seen it yet, you got to go to your local theater and check it out. I was really impressed with it because, again, they really could have screwed that thing up. They really could have messed it up.
Totally agree.
But really well done. So anyway, I saw that, and I sucked it up.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Okay.
I sucked it up.
Okay.
And I went and saw Meatballs 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do Meatballs too.
Loved Meatballs.
Sure, Meatballs was pretty great.
Woody to Wabbit.
Sure.
Loved that movie. Bill Murray, genius. Loved him on Saturday Night Live.
Well, a lot of those SNL guys, not to change the subject, a lot of those guys have made some good movies. Chevy Chase has been making some good movies recently.
Absolutely.
John Belushi's been making some good films, and he and Aykroyd did that Blues Brothers thing, which was cute.
Which was from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah. Which is really good. And the thing is, Belushi, who everyone thought was probably the most talented of all of them, because he's out of his mind.
Right.
But I think Bill Murray, he sort of has it going on. I'm a fan.
You think he's got a long career as a movie star, though? Or he's got to get back to comedy?
Well, he's not handsome.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I'm ready for a Gilda Radner movie. That's got to be around the corner.
Dude, I would how about a Rosanna Dana movie?
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
How about an Emily Latella movie?
What was her name? Lisa Loopner.
Oh, Lisa. That was with Bill Murray, of course. Yeah.
Chad!
I'm in.
Chad!
He gives him noogies.
Noogies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the noogies. My brother used to give me noogies. Not in. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I did suck it up, and it was terrible. As much as I loved Meatballs, didn't like that so much. But anyway, but I have been listening to some tunes.
Good.
And
what we got here?
Nice. I'll go with Chicago for 1,000, Alex.
Is this New Chicago?
This is from Hot Streets.
Oh, wow.
A couple years ago.
Peter Cetera.
This is good. This is pretty good.
Nice.
This new is rocking right here.
It's weird that they didn't call this one Chicago 14. Right?
I'm with you.
I know, really, it's weird. After all these years, they finally changed it up, because Chicago 8, then what came next? Chicago 9?
Right.
Chicago 10? It was just weird that they finally changed with the format. Yeah. I don't know what the diehard Chicago fans are going to think of that.
Yeah, well, the songs are so good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, these songs, I love these songs, but I don't know. This is a lot more straightforward than the sort of jazzy, psychedelic stuff that maybe Transit Authority was known for.
Right.
And this feels like a mainstream rock song.
Yeah. You could tell it's more mainstream because I was in Moby Disc the other day and there was already a copy of this in the cutout bin, that had the little gold stamp.
Wow.
that it was, one of the record label promo copies. I think they wanted like 28 cents for it or something like that. So I'll probably pick it up.
Do you know how bad I want to work at one of those record companies one day?
Record companies or record stores?
No, record companies.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I want the promos disc.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. So. Have a serious vinyl collection going if you worked at a label right
awesome
now.
Would that be?
Very nice.
Anyway, let me answer your original question because
which was what have you been listening to?
Right. Well, I listened to a little bit of the brand new. Actually, I listened to the whole thing of the brand new Bruce Springsteen record.
Oh, okay.
Born in the USA.
Yeah, it's a big record,
dude. Big record. Good day.
Good day.
It is nuts. It is really a good record, especially coming off of Nebraska, which is like such a sort of a melancholy record.
Absolutely.
This is, talk about a polar opposite.
Yeah.
What a record. And I mean, what a record.
Yeah.
Like this is everything. I could probably go down the whole list because I think every song's pretty good.
Sure.
But in particular, the Born in the USA song itself, which I don't know if you've seen on MTV.
Sure.
They have that video.
Sure. I mean, it's such a fist in the air kind of patriotic song too.
Yeah.
Stadiums are just going to love that when he goes on tour with this record.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. You watch that video and how do you not stand up and shout?
Yeah.
Although
it's funny when you think, every once in a rare while, like late at night on MTV, I'll see they show the old clip from Rosalita. Mm-hmm. Which is, from like 4 or 5, 6 years ago or something like that. And then they play the brand new video, which they just...
That's 78? 79?
78, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 5, 6 years ago.
I can't believe it's been that long.
I know, right?
That is really wacky. But it really feels like yesterday.
But you look at that, and then you look at the brand new one that they've been doing the world premiere on of Dancing in the Dark, and he looks like the friendly mass culture boss.
It's a weird. It's. I'm telling you, it's a weird transformation. Like I said, even
his jeans are really tight now.
Wow.
And he's pulling girls up out of the crowd. It looks like Martha Quinn too.
Look, dude, I'm just going to go on record and say you're not shy of wearing tight jeans.
That's true.
You, in fact, I would venture to say that you've got a pair of red tight jeans that are in your closet.
That's true. That's true. I wore them on the Sunset Strip. I was at Gazzarri's the other night. I wore them just the other night. So, yes, I do have those jeans.
Good times at Gazzarri's.
Absolutely.
What's great about Gazzarri's is you could wear those tight jeans, but they're sure to come off any moment.
That's true.
It's a good time at Gazzarri's.
Those crazy chicks up there.
Anyway, so the Springsteen record's great.
Good.
I particularly love that song, Darlington County. And you have to sort of dig. It's on the second side of the album. So check it out. It's really good. And the whole record is really good. Obviously, Dancing in the Dark and Born in the USA.
Yeah, there's a few more songs on that record.
Glory Days is great.
Yeah, there's a few more that I could almost see them releasing singles or videos of at some point. He's going to milk this record for a little while. There's a lot of quality material.
It's funny. Like I said, I just think this country right now needs a little bit of positivity anyway.
Sure.
And you figure, and Springsteen it's almost like a perfect storm of Springsteen positivity and what's going on politically in the country right now. Seems to be a good time.
It seems
Springsteen versus Reagan. How do you like that?
Right. Yeah. It seems like the right record for the Reagan years.
Yeah.
So
I would agree.
Good timing.
So I really like this record. So that was good. And then of course I shifted a little bit of gears, and I'm a huge fan, and we've talked about this before, but huge fan of Y&T.
Oh, yeah.
Love me some Dave Manichetti.
Sure.
And huge Black Tiger fan.
Right.
And loved the last record, Earthshaker.
Right.
I'm sorry, Mean Streak, pardon me.
Right.
And, however, I would say that this record, In Rock We Trust,
right.
I don't know if I love it.
Really?
It's weird. It's like...
Well, what's the new? What's the new song they got the video for?
Oh, it's what is it? Not Lipstick and Leather. It's it is. Rock and Roll's Gonna Save the World.
Is that it?
Yeah, and I'm not. It's just a weird thing. It feels like they're trying to be an arena rock band now. And I never feel like I've always felt like they're just a hair under. Yeah, they're grittier and greasier than that.
And they're sort of the quintessential support act, because I see them a lot. Like I just saw them with Aerosmith a while back. I think they were opening for Kiss, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So I see them a lot. I even saw them. They did a headline show at the Santa Monica Civic a while back, which was really cool. But yeah, I don't know about them as a headliner.
It's funny too. I just read in, I can't remember if it was Cream. Maybe it was an article
Circus?
no, I think it was an article in the calendar section, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that they were going to record one of the shows in San Francisco, and they were going to air it on MTV.
Oh, cute.
Which is always cool. Yeah, I mean, that's
Friday night
great.
concerts on MTV is great.
And this will be good, I'm sure, but I feel like they're just making that push to Arena World, and the songs are sort of reflective of that because they're kind of cheesier.
Interesting.
You know?
Interesting.
But I do. If there's a tune on there that you should listen to, it's Masters and Slaves. That's Y&T rock.
I will check that out.
So that's good. And of course, which I guess we're going to probably get into, so maybe now's a good time, is the new Rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody listening, here Used Bin FM knows that Brad and I are huge Rush fans. So this is sort of a controversial record within the Rush camp, I think.
Yeah. Well, if there was a departure, this would be it. That's for sure. I mean, this is a weird record. I mean,
right?
It's taken me. I listen to it a lot, and it's taken me a while just to wrap my head around it. It's not that it's bad. It's just so different.
For anybody who hasn't heard it yet, let me just recap.
The name of it, too.
The new one is called Grace Under Pressure. It's brand new. And, we're diehard Rush fans from way back. I mean, like 3-4 years ago when they were doing, Hemispheres and Permanent Waves. Mm-hmm. That was serious stuff. Of course, Moving Pictures was a big record 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, actually. Yeah. And they did a huge tour, gained a lot of new fans. And then with this new popularity, what did they do? They put out Signals last year. And that was a tough one to swallow because it was a lot poppier, shorter songs, a little bit of keyboards going on Subdivisions. And I was hoping this time around they would sort of, now that they've acquired all the new fans, I was hoping they were going to bring it back and, show them the art rock side of what they do.
My fear with Rush is that they're changing with the musical times.
Right.
I mean, here we are, right?
1984,
and it's a whole... Like I just feel like they're trying to blend in with this sort of new wave kind of thing that's happening,
right?
And it bugs me
Bands
a little bit.
Like the Police.
It just bugs me a little bit because it's not. They're a band that doesn't have to do that. Like it feels to me like they're sort of on their own plane anyway. Yet here we are, and they made a record that's got more keyboards than guitars, for God's sakes, which is really weird.
Right.
But some of the tunes that I love Kid Gloves, and it's sort of a guilty pleasure. If there was a song for me on the record, that would be the guilty pleasure, maybe the one that not everybody's going to veer to.
Right.
It would be Kid Gloves.
Okay.
I really enjoy that one, and I know that Red Sector A is getting a lot of play here in LA on the KLOS station, on the KMET station.
Right.
And I know that Distant Early Warning is really good.
And there's a video on MTV for that one.
For me, it's all Kid Gloves.
That's fair.
I just seem to really go to that to that song.
Kid Gloves sounds like the natural progression for me from last year's New World Man.
Yeah, and that was one of the better songs on Signals.
One of the popular ones.
But it was one of the better songs.
But I would agree with that. The one thing that I like that they did, and I got to give credit to Neil for this, because 2 records ago on Moving Pictures, I remember we were all scratching our heads because they had Witch Hunt Part 3 of the Fear trilogy, and we were all going, what the hell is that?
Right.
And then last year they had...
there's no Witch Hunt on this record.
But they had, on Signals, they had The Weapon, which was Part 2 of the Fear trilogy, and so I'm glad they finished it up. So this time around they have the Enemy Within, which is Part 1 of the Fear trilogy. So at least the trilogy's complete, although it doesn't really feel like it fits together to me.
Not really at all.
And I didn't love The Weapon.
Could you imagine if they played all 3 of those?
That'd be like a 20-minute chunk of the concert where they could be playing Hemispheres.
Yeah.
And I was bummed. I was bummed last year.
Play Hemispheres, by the way.
Last year I was bummed because the set list on the Signals tour, they really cut out a lot of the old material. There was no more Grace Under Pressure. I mean, no more Caress of Steel. Mm-hmm. No more Hemispheres. Really, I think they did the Trees.
It feels like since even just since Moving Pictures, there's a significant change in that band and what they're doing in the writing style, and I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I love me some Rush.
Yeah.
I'm terrified to hear what they come up with next.
Yeah, kind of with you.
It's a
kinda
scary
with you.
prospect.
They're not moving in the direction that I would have expected or wanted or hoped for.
So anyway, what have you been listening to, man? That's a lot of music I just listened to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what have you been listening to?
There's some other discs. I finally broke down. Well, it wasn't broke down. I knew it was going to happen, but I went over to Music Plus and for $3.99 picked up the new Van Halen album, 1984.
Nice.
So this is the sixth album, and they're still churning out good stuff. One of the things I love about the Van Halen records is they keep digging back. I collect a lot of bootleg cassettes, and so I got a lot of old demos and things like that on old cassette tapes in a little Vans shoebox under the bed.
Right.
And I love that on pretty much every record they still go back to the old demos and they resurrect some of those old tunes, like last year on Diver Down, the song Hang 'em High was actually a song from the old days, from the demos,
right,
called Where Were You Last Night. And so this time again, there's a song on the new record called House of Pain, which is an old demo song they used to do back in like 75. So I love that they still dig back into the old bag of tricks. But some of the new stuff is a little bit more pop and certainly more keyboard heavy than anything we would have expected from Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, and that was my problem because I heard two songs off of this. Obviously, I heard the Jump song,
right,
and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
it's a weird thing. I mean, I don't know if they've been hanging out with Rush or what's going on.
Yeah, right.
But there is listen, there's a disease that is spreading over this country, and it's called keyboards.
Yeah,
and it's starting to bother me. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Kind of with you. I like my classic rock. I like my arena rock.
I need some guitars.
Yeah,
is that wrong?
That's not wrong.
What am I asking for?
Just guitars. Just guitars.
Little guitars.
But yeah, that was a great song on the last record.
Right.
But so the song Jump, obviously a huge hit. The video's all over MTV. Can't get away from it.
Cool video.
Well, the cooler one is the brand new one that they've been doing the world premiere of the last couple of weeks for Hot for Teacher, where not only do you get like the hot chick in the front of the classroom, but also the little kids dressed up as like mini Van Halens, like they're going back to school.
Right.
So it's a fun little video. I like when there's like a little bit of a storyline to my videos.
And it feels like that's what people are starting to be a little more creative with their
right.
They're starting to get the hang of what this music video thing is all about.
Absolutely. It's becoming sort of an art form.
Yeah, it's neat too because you get to introduced to some of these bands in a way that maybe you never had been before.
Right.
So it's not that you become intimate or personal with them, but at least you can identify that visually with the song.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we talk to later tonight, when we're talking music with the rock and roll princess of the Sunset Strip, Rachel, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about MTV because she always likes to bring that up. But I will mention that some bands I know have really sort of embraced the art form.
Yeah.
Bands like Duran Duran, who would have just been another band on the KROQ playlist. If it wasn't for the heavy rotation they get on MTV, or even bands like Def Leppard, they're sort of getting it right.
Yeah, it's weird though. I mean, some bands not Def Leppard, but Duran Duran maybe should be left off the playlist.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I think, to be fair, this whole new wave thing, I think it's, it'll be cute for like a year or two, but I think people are going to just, get over this pretty quick. It's just weird.
And there's no like
skinny ties and everything.
There's no balls to it.
Right.
Like it just doesn't feel. It feels so thin and weak and wussy.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. And I don't mean to disparage some of these bands. I mean they're doing what they do, but God, really? Like I have to Duran Duran?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the new Motley Crue video. Fire and brimstone and guitars and shout at the devil.
Sure.
I mean, at least there's some testosterone.
But we're heavy metal kids.
I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't everybody?
Everybody should be.
I thought that was
I'll tell you what. When I was at the US Festival last year, I really felt like I was like amongst my people because there was like 250,000 heavy metal kids on the Sunday show, and it was weird because I stuck around for the whole weekend, and so we saw a bunch of classic rock on Friday, and we saw all the heavy metal on Saturday we saw the classic rock, and Sunday was heavy metal day, and then on Monday they had all of the new wave bands, and it was just weird, having to sit through, Berlin and Quarter Flash and U2 and these new up and coming bands.
Yeah, because you got to wonder, like, where's the
Where's the balls?
Where's the balls?
Where's the balls?
Doesn't it feel like that?
Yeah, it does.
I don't know.
And-
It feels androgynous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
These guys, you know what they need to do? These guys need to take a trip on the strip with us on a Friday or Saturday
That's
night.
all I'm saying.
And once they see these, what really goes on there, what real men who wear makeup do,
Right.
then they'll understand.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
And speaking of real men, and answering your question, where the balls are,
Yeah.
let me just tell you something else I've been listening to.
Okay.
The brand new Judas Priest album, Defenders of the Faith.
That, my friend,
Now that is that is a heavy
All
metal
balls.
record.
Yeah.
It's all balls. And so, it's got like Free Wheel Burning and The Sentinel and Heavy Duty. It's a big record, and you just take one look at the back cover and the photos of the band, and you look at Rob Halford and like the tight black leather, and you just know, dude, this guy is getting so many chicks.
Yeah, I would like to put him
Yeah.
and what's the Duran Duran guy? Simon
Le Bon.
Simon Le Bon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put him and Halford in a room and see who the real man is.
That's right.
That's all I'm
Who's
saying.
getting all the chicks out of
on.
those two?
Come on.
No brainer. No brainer.
No.
Yeah.
That is good metal right there.
What else? Two other things that I've been listening to. Just plug them real quick. All right, it's a guilty pleasure, and I'm sort of off the grid here of my heavy metal roots. But I did listen to this new Prince record, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Prince fan. I can't condone the Prince.
Right.
But I saw him a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. He was opening for the Stones at the Coliseum, and he was good. I mean, he's a good player. It's
Didn't
not
go over so good.
He didn't go over so good. It's not my kind of music, but you could tell he can actually play. And if he actually was playing some good music instead of cheesy, sexy dance music or whatever, he's probably a good musician. And at least on this record, he's showing some of his guitar chops, like at the end of what's the opening track, Let's Go Crazy. There's like this little, almost like Eddie Van Halen sounding guitar riff that's
Right.
reminiscent of like what is it, Ice Cream Man, that that kind of thing. And so he kind of rocks a little bit, so it's a pretty good record, and some of the songs have good hooks. So I think he's a good musician. I just wish he would give up some of the cheesy costumes and all that stuff and just get on with the music.
Yeah, I don't know much about the guy, so I don't know. I don't have a ton to add to that.
Okay.
I know he looks funny.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
He's got big hair, and he likes to wear lace.
Yeah, I mean he's, I don't know. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to? No, forget it. I'm not in. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just don't know enough about the record.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And I know that it, Rolling Stone is excited about it and all that. It's not for me.
I was reading it was either Circus or Cream the other day. Mm-hmm. I think they're even talking about like filming one of the shows or doing something because they're going to do some kind of movie. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
a movie based on the record or
a record. Maybe it's a concert of the Purple Rain music, or I'm not exactly sure what that movie's going to be like.
Does that mean so that turns this into a soundtrack?
It could. I mean, I can't imagine the guy acting, so I don't know. We'll have to see if that even happens. That could just be a rumor. But
where's Rob Halford when you need him?
Where's Rob Halford? He's out getting all the chicks, dude. He's getting all the chicks. Speaking of getting chicks, I also wanted to mention I listened to this new guy, Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi just put out a second record, 4,800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
and it's not bad. It's kind of like the pop side of hard rock. I wouldn't even call him heavy metal, really. He's just kind of hard rock, but he's got the hair. He's got good hair.
He's handsome.
He's handsome, and the girls seem to like him. But I'm listening to the record, and it's fine, and it just sounds like, in a way, it's almost kind of like Y&T, because I think he's going to be like a good opening act. But I just can't imagine, listening to this guy. He'll never be a headliner.
Right.
I can never imagine like people going to see like a Bon Jovi concert.
I don't know.
But, if he opens for like Rat or a cool show like that.
I actually know. I read again in the calendar section that he was going to open for Rat.
Oh, that's a good good double bill.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. But Rat's a rock band. Like
yeah.
It's sort of a weird thing, but I don't know. You know what? The chicks dig him, I guess. So
right.
You know, in the MTV era, I guess if you're cute and you're good looking,
Right.
then maybe you get away with having cheesy songs.
Exactly. So where's Rob Halford when you need him?
He's awesome.
Last thing about new music, I just wanted to ask you. You know, I was asking you earlier if you are more of an LP or a tape guy. I'm more of an LP guy. I wear out needles like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
I keep having to go down to Sam Goody to buy new needles all the time. Radio Shack is even better. You can get good deals over there.
I have to go to the park to exchange mine.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
But I do have my little Sony Walkman cassette player, so I do listen to my share of cassettes. But I'm hearing that Sony now, and I was just reading about this in Cream, that Sony wants to put out like little miniature, they look like little mirrored
Compact discs.
Yeah, that's what they're called, compact
right?
discs.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, they look like little mirrors, and
Like
you don't,
Frisbees.
yeah, but you don't even need a needle.
No.
It's like a laser reads them or something,
Listen.
and reads the song right off of the
The great thing about these, supposedly anyway, is
Right.
supposed to be the quality of the sound is supposed to be really good. Like it's supposed to take a lot of the hiss out.
Does that mean they don't scratch or skip like
Yeah.
like a record?
Well, I don't know if they skip, but I don't know. I mean, there's a laser. I guess it would skip, right? If you hit it.
If you hit it,
Yeah.
that's true.
But I don't know if it would scratch.
Do you think people are going to buy this? Is this just like a high end thing for the audiophile guys?
Did you see how much those the players are?
No.
They're like almost $1,000.
Oh man,
No, listen,
who's going to spend that?
I love me some music.
I mean, you
don't
could-
get me wrong. I ain't spent $1,000.
No way.
And then how much are those the actual discs going to cost?
I have no idea. And
What did you buy the Van Halen record for?
$3.99 at Music Plus.
Dude, if that's how much, that was cassette, right?
Yeah.
If that's how much those CDs are going to have to cost, at least $10.
That's crazy. Who's going to pay that kind of music for the same thing you could already get for like half that price?
That's it. And you know what? And my theory would be, well, it's probably cool and stuff, but I'd rather buy 2 cassettes instead of only owning 1 disc.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's a good
I'm
point.
I'm a double your pleasure kind of guy.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, especially because the player, you said it's like $1,000.
So much.
You can walk into University Stereo right now and buy a nice component system, with your AM/FM receiver and your turntable and your cassette player,
Right.
and 2 nice big speakers,
Yeah.
for like $199.
And it's quality, high fidelity.
Sure.
So I don't know why you would. I mean, somebody's going to do it. Obviously, I want you listen. If the quality is that good, and there's people are buying it, I mean, maybe the price will come down one day. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, if it works, then everybody's going to start making them.
Exactly.
And then there's the supply and demand thing.
Exactly.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
All right.
If you know someone that's got one, I'll go and listen.
All right,
it for you.
Well, right now I think we should listen to some new music. So I'm going to play you a brand new song off the brand new Night Ranger record.
Nice.
And so enjoy this. And once again, if you want to give us a call tonight, we're at 888-405-7440. It's Used Bin Radio, your favorite show on the FM dial.
falling apart, and you knew it was gone from the very start. You close your eyes and dream about me. I fell in love with a gloom in your eye. I was a younger boy, all dressed in white. We're older now. Do you still think about me? I remember we learned about love in the back of a Chevrolet. But it felt so good to be up. Feels like yesterday. When you close your eyes, do you dream about me? When you close off a hard night of drinking. Can't you come closer to me? I need a soul to bleed on. It could have been done in a different kind of way, but that ain't you. You play tough when you play. It's over now. I bet you still think about me. I remember I held you so tight and we danced the night away. When the moon that you wide-eyed kid, I need you so much today. When you close your eyes, do you dream about me? When you fall asleep at night, do you dream about me? When you close your eyes,
The sound is big. The boys are back. Michael, Alex, Eddie, David, Van Halen, 1984. The new Van Halen album is out. The new Van Halen album is here. Listen to it now. 1984.
It certainly is a big bun. It's a very big bun. Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
What are you listening to? Used Bin Radio. Nice. Welcome back to the Used Bin Radio Show, your favorite place on the FM dial. It's Brad and Joe, and we're talking tunes.
What is up?
What's up?
Dude, little John Lennon. Good day.
How about that?
Talk about political.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking earlier about Bruce.
Right.
Dude, this is a political guy. I don't know what happened.
That's why they shot him.
Yeah.
Dude, can you believe it's been, 4 years now?
4 years?
Yeah. Seems like that just happened yesterday. I remember hearing that news. I think I heard it on KMET. I think Jim Ladd broke the news. But that seemed like it was just yesterday.
Yeah, it's weird. But talk about a political guy.
Yeah.
This guy. Isn't this the guy that sang Love Me Do?
Yeah, he was one of those guys.
I mean, what happened?
He was one of those guys.
How did he get like this and McCartney just...
Well,
he didn't go there.
McCartney wasn't the walrus. That might have something to do with it.
Oh, you mean if you're an animal, you all of a sudden write political tunes?
He was the walrus.
Well, he's also married to Yoko. And
That'll do it.
That'll do a lot of damage to a lot of people.
That'll do it every time. So hey, let's
you
talk.
Cold?
Yeah,
you cold?
So let's talk
Chilly?
about.
I want to hear about it.
I was just putting on my leathers.
Okay, checking. Easy.
Got a strap in my leathers.
Listen, people hear about you with straps and leathers, and they automatically assume that I'm in Duran Duran.
Look out!
So, dude. So new tunes that were out that have been out recently.
Yeah,
and there's lots of good stuff, and you brought up
lots of new ones just about to come out too. Yeah, that I'm looking forward to.
We were talking about the Dio one, and I know that the new one, The Last in Line, is coming out in a month or so.
Yeah, now
I'm excited about it.
Are you excited?
I am.
You got Ronnie Dio, who everybody knows him as the singer of Rainbow. Of course, he was in Black Sabbath for a little while,
and Elf, and I mean the guy's been around.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Elf.
That's such a funny thing with. I mean, it's his first foray into being just Dio.
Right.
So this is he's finally the guy.
You think he's got what it takes, though, to make a solo career out of this? Because all up until now, he's had to rely on either Richie Blackmore or Tony Iommi to write the songs.
Well,
he's got a great voice.
If you listen to Holy Diver, I mean that's a pretty good indication that I think he's got it going on. Whether he can sustain that for 2 records, I don't know. But I mean, the band is good. I mean, he took Jimmy Bain with him from Rainbow,
right?
You know, and Jimmy Bain's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, Holy Diver's pretty good record. I mean, the guy wasn't he playing arenas on that tour?
Was he?
Just off of the name. Just off of being in Sabbath and Rainbow. I mean, I don't know how many people remember about Elf.
Is there any truth? I mean, a lot of people I'm hanging out with at the rock shows, they're talking about how his logo, if you look at it a certain way, it says devil.
Is that right?
Yeah, have you noticed that?
No.
Yeah, you really got to.
That's weird.
Really got to stare at it for that to be true. I mean, it's not as cool as like the angel logo, which put it upside down, it still says angel.
There's nothing cool about that.
That was pretty cool.
No, it's not really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I love that Holy Diver record, and I'm bummed that I missed the show.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely making it a point to go to this Last in Line tour when it comes around.
Good.
And from what I understand, and like I said, I wasn't there, but the Holy Diver tour was supposed to be quite a spectacle. I mean, lots going on. It was like a big rock show. So
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope he's got the songs to keep this thing going because he's got a great voice. And I think he's a really cool front man.
He's just a little short.
He's a little short.
A little short.
Yeah, but like I said, up until now, he's had Richie Blackmore and Tony Iommi to rely on.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does going forward.
He's got that. He definitely has that. I don't know, whatever it is that lead singers have.
Yeah,
charisma.
He
does have a little bit of that.
Yeah,
I mean he's I mean he's the guy. So
right.
I'll give him credit for that.
He's the man.
It's hard
on the Silver Mountain.
That's right, and that's tough in a band with Richie Blackmore,
sure,
and with Tony Iommi, and especially if you're going to call a band, you're in Black Sabbath. I mean, dude, that quite a legacy with that band.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, so I'm into that.
So then, one that I'm really looking forward to is there's this brand new record by Iron Maiden called Power Slave.
We like Maiden.
Yeah. Now, it's weird. This is an interesting time in Maiden history because they did 2 records with the original lineup, Paul Di'Anno and Clive Burr.
Right.
And then they moved on. They've done a couple of records now with Bruce Dickinson, and then they brought in Nico McBain on drums.
Yeah.
And so they're doing this new record called Power Slave, and they're going to do a big tour. And the first track, the first single, I know they've been playing on some of the local FM stations called Aces High. And it sounds like like the Trooper off the last record.
But it's a blistering rock
song.
It's
good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. But I'm curious, now that we're at this sort of crossroads moment where they're about to become more of a Dickinson band than a Di'Anno band. Are you more of a Dickinson guy or a Di'Anno guy?
Well, I mean, as much as I love Killers, and I liked Iron Maiden,
right?
But Killers is really great. Dude, that Peace of Mind record?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Good morning.
It's pretty good.
That is a record. I mean, what I like about it, too, is the songs on side 2, some of the deeper tracks.
Right.
I love those songs.
They got that one about Dune.
Yeah.
What is that?
Quest for Fire?
No, to tame...
Oh, to Tame a Land.
Tame a Land, yeah.
That, and then...
It's like the Dune book.
Yeah. And then, what's the other one? Die With Your Boots On?
Right.
I love that tune.
Yeah.
I want to see him play that live.
Sure.
That song is that's nuts.
Yeah, there's some good tunes on this record.
I guess I would have to say that maybe I've converted.
Yeah?
I could be a Dickinson guy. He can sing, that guy.
Well, I saw them, probably 4 years ago with Di'Anno. They opening for UFO at the Long Beach Arena, and they were, an aggressive, angry heavy metal band from England. And then 2 years ago, I remember seeing them. They played Anaheim Stadium at that big festival with Foreigner and Loverboy and the Scorpions, and they were actually the opening band.
How does that work?
Yeah, right. It's funny how the tide has changed because Loverboy were a glorified headliner playing arenas just like 2 years ago.
Right.
And now they would be the opening act on that lineup.
Shouldn't they be Shouldn't they be touring with like Judas Priest?
Loverboy?
No, yeah, exactly. No, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That
would make sense.
That would be a real. Like, that sounds like a rock tour to me.
They toured for a little while last year, I think, with the Scorpions. They did some dates with the Scorpions, but then they started doing some headline dates,
and all that makes sense.
Yeah, they did some headline dates. In fact, they came out here for the Peace of Mind tour. I think they had Saxon opening for them. So I'm sure they'll be headlining again this year for Power Slave. Who knows? Maybe Loverboy will be the opening act, and then
Could you imagine that?
That'll be Justice.
I guess. That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still I'm pondering your question because Bruce versus
Paul
Di'Anno. It's a tough one. You know what I mean? Because I'm always favorable to the original guy. And not many bands can sort of make that transition either.
That's true.
From the original guy to the new guy, and I feel like they've done it quite seamlessly. I mean, look, that Peace of Mind record, right? It's pretty monster.
Absolutely. Some great tunes on that. That's the one that sort of sold me. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I saw them, early on, but they weren't a band that I would listen to. They were a little too scary, to be honest. They were, really kind of aggressive and frightening. And it was sort of, well, like in England, I think they're calling it the new wave of British heavy metal, and it's more like from the streets. It's almost like punk rock.
Well, it's aggressive. Aggressive's a good word.
Yeah,
and I like how they have on the album covers on the sleeves you can see the little character guy. He seems to.
Oh, the Ed guy.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but is that as they call him, Eddie?
Yeah, I think they call him Ed or Eddie or something.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute that he's got a name.
Right?
Don't you think?
Sure.
Well, wouldn't that be funnier if they called him George?
Well, sure.
Like, hey, here's our mascot, George.
Judas Priest tried doing it for a little while. On the last record, they had the. I forget what they called. They had a name for the bird on the Screaming for Vengeance record, and on the new one, Defenders of the Faith, they have that sort of like metallic-looking tank. They call that the Metallion.
Okay, very good.
But yeah, I like that that Ed is on all the Maiden.
But I like
that
he changes.
Right,
too. He's like he morphs. Into whatever the album is.
He got a lobotomy last year.
It's cool, right?
Right.
Yeah,
he was Satan's. He was
on the number record,
controlling the puppet of Satan.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he was on the first Maiden record.
Right.
So at least that hasn't changed.
And he had an axe on Killers.
Yeah,
he was a killer.
Right.
It's crazy.
What's he going to be on the new one? What's the new one called?
Power Slave.
Oh, so it's like Egyptian thing.
Yeah, it could be like an Egyptian thing. Maybe they have him like on top of a.
Maybe he'll be the pyramid.
Yeah, they'll have his face on a pyramid or something like that. Great. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cute that they do that.
Yeah,
it's comic book metal.
Absolutely.
Although it doesn't sound like that. They'd kick our ass if we said that.
But speaking of comic books, interesting segue.
Yeah.
New record from Kiss.
Yeah.
Now this is called Adrenalize, and this is their the second time that they're doing a record without makeup on, and it just felt weird when they took it off. I guess they had to do something because they went through that period where nobody really cared about them anymore.
I think they're still in that period because I don't.
Yeah.
No, though whatchamacallit. I mean, obviously with this MTV thing. I like calling it the MTV thing.
Sure. I just love to be honest. I love that there's a channel that I know for years and years, for the rest of our lives, we're always going to be able to just watch it like a radio station and just watch music whenever we want.
I hope that's okay. I don't know how long this thing is around for, but whatever it is, I'm in.
Yeah. I know a lot of neighborhoods still can't get get it on their cable system.
And it's got to be. I don't know how they make all their money and stuff, because if you're putting bands like Judas Priest on there, you better be making a ton of money off your Springsteens and Duran Durans.
Right.
That's all I'm saying, because I don't know how many, parents want their kids watching, a real man like Rob Halford.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Anyway, I guess, Kiss was like, I feel like Kiss with the makeup was made for MTV.
Yeah.
And then they took it off. They ruined the whole deal.
They did the comic book.
They screwed the whole thing up.
They did. And they even took off the makeup on MTV, I want to say, right? Didn't they do that on MTV? like a couple of years ago.
If they did, I didn't see it.
It was just before they put out that last record, Lick It Up.
That was an awful record.
Yeah, I think I want to say it was even on MTV that they revealed themselves for the first time, and I didn't see it, but yeah. So this is the second record without makeup, and like I said, I guess they had to try something, but it just seems like they're on their last legs, and this could be like the death knell for Kiss now. I just don't think anybody cares anymore
because they were better looking with makeup.
Yeah, that's true, and to be honest, you know the excitement of going to see a Kiss show was all about those cartoon characters and the flames and the pyro and all that stuff. And if they do it now as just like regular dudes without makeup, you know, just wearing, you know, cool stuff like spandex or whatever, it's just not as cool.
Well, you know, I've told you this before. I mean, the lasting memory I'll have for the rest of my life is going to that show, is going to see Kiss with the makeup on.
Right.
It's the first show I ever
Those
went
were big
to.
shows.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first show I ever saw, and I was blown away. I didn't know what the hell I was seeing. It was amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And not only was it amazing, but it was so loud and noisy and just big and, you know, God of Thunder and like, how cool is all that stuff, right?
Right.
For whatever
Shout it out loud.
Oh, man, it was just great. It was great. That Rock and Roll Over record is just so good, man. But it feels like, to borrow a term from you, it just feels like they've lost the plot. Because part of the fun of Kiss was the comic book nature of it all.
Right.
Like, I mean, I've grown up a little bit now, so obviously it doesn't, you know, I'm not scared of Kiss anymore, although I was. I won't lie to you. I was for a minute. But it was so fun. And now it feels serious.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not serious.
Exactly. You know, to be a real like arena rock headliner in this day and age, you need to be a little bit more. There needs to be more show to it, and Kiss just doesn't do the show anymore. You need like Blue Oyster Cult. Now that's an arena rock band, or Crocus. Now these guys are going to be headlining arenas for, you know, as long as
right.
Yeah.
And I think a band like Rat is going to do the same thing.
Sure.
I mean, they have those big choruses and like big songs and stuff, you know? I mean, they play the shit out of their instruments. It's like, I think bands like that are good. And maybe even this guy. Huey. Good, right?
Huey's great.
Huey is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, we can sit here and talk about the Iron Maiden and the Rob Halford, but this dude's pretty good.
Well, for the sake of full disclosure here, that show that I was talking about at Festival, it was Foreigner, Loverboy, Scorpions, and Iron Maiden was the opener. When I originally opened up the calendar section and saw the concert announcement, Huey Lewis and the News was on the original lineup.
Well, what happened?
True story. Well, Huey Lewis and the News and Iron Maiden, somebody had a moment of clarity and said, we can't do that.
But they thought Loverboy was a better option?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but those guys are huge.
I guess.
You know?
I guess. I'm just teasing. But this is like good songwriting.
Yeah.
Like these guys, Huey Lewis is good.
Yeah. No,
that.
the sports record is great.
That.
Sports is great. I Want a New Drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those songs are all over MTV right now too. He's doing just fine.
He's another dude that's made for that MTV.
Yeah, he'll probably end up being as big as Springsteen in a couple of years. It's, you know, he's just got that likable face and he's, you know, real down to earth, and
he needs to keep writing those songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's the one thing you could always count on with Bruce. You know, I mean, the tones may be different, but the guy dude knows how to write a rock song.
Yeah,
or a pop song, I should say.
I agree.
So anyway, where were we? Oh, we were talking about the demise of Kiss.
The demise of Kiss.
I just wanted to end Kiss with one thing and say that I hope that they made a lot of dough.
Right.
And I hope they saved it.
Yeah.
Because if they keep making these records, it's all going to be over.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, could you imagine a broke Gene Simmons and a broke Paul Stanley? I don't know. Dead.
I don't know what that would look like.
No.
At that point, they would have to. Can you imagine them trying to put the makeup back on now? That would be weird though, because we've seen what they look like now. So that would be pointless.
Again, to borrow a term from you,
yeah,
they will have lost the plot.
They lost the plot.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
they got away from. They jumped the shark.
So from a band that's on the way out to a band that's on the way up. and up and up and up, and that's Quiet Riot, who put out one of the biggest records of last year.
Biggest record in the history of metal.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
And I think that record sold the most of any record of all time in heavy metal.
That could be true. That could be true.
You want to talk about unleashing the beast,
right?
I mean, that thing is off the leash and out the door.
But they've got a brand new record now called Condition Critical, and I know that MTV's been playing Mama We're All Crazy Now.
Cool song.
Which is a cool song.
Yeah.
Another cover from that band Slade,
yeah.
which did Come On Feel the Noise.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that just like 5 years ago,
yeah.
Randy Rhoads used to be in that band when we used to go see him on the.
Sure.
We used to go see him on the Sunset Strip. We go to the Starwood, and it would be Kevin DuBrow and Randy Rhoads on stage, and then he got the gig with Ozzy, of course,
and then Quiet Riot blew up.
So
weird.
Yeah,
that happens. I guess it's Yeah, I think Slade's releasing a record this year too. By the way, but
oh yeah,
I think so.
Are they going to do a cover of Metal Health?
Condition Critical?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, no, they're doing
Slick Black Cadillac.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I think the Condition Critical record is good.
Yeah.
It's
do
just,
you think it'll be as big or bigger than Metal Health? Do you think they're on the way up?
Like, how do you gauge that? Because that, to me, again, it's like that it's so... the monster's out of the box on that one. It's such a monster, huge record. Like, it's weird when your parents know who Quiet Riot is.
Right.
That's how you know it's a big record.
Right.
I don't know. Can you match that? Does lightning strike twice?
I don't know. I mean, like I was in the Warehouse record store the other day, and they had like one of those life-size cardboard cutouts of Carlos Cavazo, and it's like, wow, he's like a superstar now.
Right. Except you just bumped into him sitting on the wall by next to Gazzarri's.
Right.
Which is weird.
Which is very weird.
Yeah. And the Sarzo guy.
Yeah, the Sarzo guy.
I like calling him the Sarzo guy.
Sure.
The Sarzo guy and the Dubrow.
Yeah.
They're a good live band, I'll say that. I mean,
yeah,
they really
they're fun.
they bring it live.
They're fun.
So, I don't know. I just, again, I'm going to say no.
And they'll be headlining obviously this time around because most of the time they toured last year, I saw them at the US Festival, and they were the opening act.
Right. Wasn't that before that record really?
It was out.
Took off?
It was out, but it hadn't really quite taken off yet.
Before Mental Health became Mental Health.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're glorified headliner, pretty much overnight.
They're huge rock stars, international rock stars, and good for them. And can this record be as big as the other one? I don't know, but
they're selling a lot of albums. So
they write good rock pop.
Yeah,
can't argue with it.
Yeah,
so
no,
I love the Mental Health.
Good stuff.
I'll say that.
And the last one I want to talk about that's coming up is that was funny.
That's great.
Is our favorite, one of our favorite Black Sabbath singers, Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, being that they're on 3,
right? Yeah, that's true. That band has had 3. What other band can you name that's had 3 lead singers?
That's the revolving door of
that's
singers.
crazy.
Yeah.
But so Ozzy Osbourne has a brand new record called "Bark at the Moon," and it's weird. We were talking about Randy Rhoads earlier, and he did the first two Ozzy Osbourne records, and then for the tours and that little live album that he put out a while ago, he's had a bunch of guitarists over the last year or so since he had to replace Randy Rhoads. I know Brad Gillis was in there for a while, and a couple of others have toured.
He was really good, by the way.
Yeah, he was really good.
I don't know if he's quite Randy Rhoads, but he's pretty good.
It's good for Night Ranger. He loves that whammy bar.
Yeah, who doesn't love good whammy bar?
Who doesn't love a good whammy bar? But I think I'm hoping that he's finally settled in to a new guitar player now, because Jakey Lee, who I saw again last year at the US Festival with Ozzy, was a great player, and so this is the first record he's recorded with Jakey Lee, and the new record's got some great tunes on it.
Can I just tell you the tune that I love on that record?
Yeah,
I love that Center of Eternity.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. Now again, maybe it's my kid gloves of Bark at the Moon.
Right.
But it's a guilty pleasure.
That's fair.
I love it.
That's fair.
It's a good record.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I said, I'm just hoping that he's sort of found the final replacement for Randy now, because he's been through a bunch of guitarists, and I think he's got a good fit. And yeah,
it's a good. Listen, that record is solid, and he's Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, the guy's such a rock star. He he's starting not to look so good. I'll say that. He's starting to show some wear and tear
Right.
for whatever reason, but he doesn't look so good. I got a feeling the drink is beginning to show it rear its ugly head.
Could be.
But yeah, I mean, I think the record is good.
Is he married? Is Ozzy married?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It wouldn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
he's such a
but
he's
what-
kind of a mess, isn't
Yeah,
he?
exactly. Well, what would that look like? He's probably got like some hot blonde chick sitting at home.
Yeah, does he have? That's the thing, though. Like, do you really think like Ozzy Osbourne has a home? I don't know.
See, I don't know. Maybe he's just a road dog.
He feels to me like he's like this traveling vagrant kind of
Yeah.
guy, like a circus sideshow
Yeah.
kind of deal. I mean, look, when you go from like this one of the most, in my opinion anyway, the most important bands in metal in Black Sabbath.
Right.
I mean, those records are so earth-shattering and important. To putting out a record like Blizzard of Oz, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And then Diary of a Madman. that
Great
is
stuff.
Oh, it's great. It's really impressive. I mean, maybe that's the path that Ronnie Dio can follow.
Right.
Because Ozzy seems to have been successful to this point.
And Ronnie hasn't had to bite anything's head off either.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
No. And
I remember reading about that just like last
Yeah.
year or whenever that was, and that was just so weird.
Well, that's what I mean. I just think I don't know, something ain't right about that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's not right.
A little off.
And he's starting to show it.
Yeah.
All those stories you hear about, but if you start to
You wonder if it's like record company hype, but it could be true.
No, he doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
He's a guy that I wouldn't be shocked if he was, dropped dead or, ended up in a hospital somewhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't let him out.
I hear
don't
you.
know. It's pretty good. The Bark at the Moon record's pretty good. It's a little different, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's no Diary.
that's true.
Yeah, which is a great record. So
All right. Well, why don't we go to a little tune? I'm going to play you something kind of new from late last year, I guess it was. Def Leppard put out their third album, Pyromania. Had some good tunes and some good
Are you
videos.
a Def Leppard guy?
I kind of am a Def Leppard
You
guy.
are?
Kind of am a Def Leppard guy. As long as they don't, get too pop. I don't know what they're going to do in the future, but I'm hoping the next record comes out like in the next couple of months because it's already been almost a year,
Yeah.
which is a long time. So hopefully in the next couple of months we'll see the next Def Leppard record. I just remember, seeing them last year, I guess it was. I forget where they played, but like Rick Allen, the drum solo is great. I mean, you just see his two arms are just flailing all over the place, and he's pretty solid.
He's the best part of the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the Joe Elliott, it just doesn't do much for me.
Well, you got to give him credit because he's got one of the most unique like outfits. With the shirt with the English flag.
but he
and
looks like-
and the sleeves cut off. It's a good look.
But he looks like Kevin Dubrow.
Yeah, a little bit like Kevin Dubrow.
Kevin Dubrow is the Hollywood Joe Elliott, or
Yeah.
vice versa.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? I just don't think, I don't know, Joe Elliott, for whatever reason, Joe Elliott doesn't work a lot for me.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. Well, maybe this will. Here's a little Def Leppard for you. Enjoy.
Hey!
first-rate new tires, but you don't want to spend a fortune? What you want is a visit to a Super Shops Automotive Performance Center in Van Nuys, San Gabriel, Covina, Long Beach, West LA, Garden Grove. The Super Shop store will sell you a BF Goodrich TA radial tire for as little as $39.95. The Super Shops chain is the world's leading retail dealer in BF Goodrich TA radial tires. Buy a TA at the Super Shops for as little as $39.95. Super low prices on tires throughout the Super Shop stores. BF Goodrich TA radial tires. Performance tires with real price performance at the Super Shop stores in Garden Grove, West LA, Long Beach, Covina, Van Nuys, and San Gabriel, and in San Bernardino, Riverside, and Ontario. Find out more about BF Goodrich TA radials with real price performance at the Super Shops Automotive Performance Centers throughout Southern California.
Hot dog, Armour hot dog. What kinds of kids eat Armour hot dogs?
Fat kids, skinny kids, kids who climb on rocks, soft kids, sissy kids.
Even kids with chicken pox love hot dogs.
Armour hot dogs.
The dog kids love to bite.
When men bite dogs, as soon as they say,
But when kids bite dogs, they yell,
hooray for hot dogs.
Armour hot dogs.
The dog
Kids love to bite.
Hi there, this is Jimmy Page. Keep your radio tuned right here.
Nice. Outstanding. Awesome.
Yeah. That's nice. That's pretty when you come into that.
That's totally awesome.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into the Used Bin. Good to have you with us tonight. We've been talking a lot about new releases and a lot of stuff Joe and I have been listening to. And remember, if you want to chime in, you can do that at 888-405-7440. That's the number. We're here. We're taking your calls, and we're talking about shows, and we're talking about tunes, and not show tunes necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess we could.
But we do see a lot of shows up on the Sunset Strip. There's a lot of good.
Well, we enjoy the
a lot
Strip.
of good new metal bands coming out of the Strip right now too.
Well, this is the thing with the Strip that's so funny, and this is what I was gonna say earlier, is that the Strip is like it's almost like a culture. It's a city unto itself these days, where there's that 2-block area where you have the whiskey
from Gil Turner's down to the whiskey.
Yeah, you have the whiskey, and then you've got the Roxy, and you've got the Rainbow, which who doesn't need to go to the Rainbow?
The Central,
and then Gazzari's,
right?
And that's really where it's just madness on there any night of the week. And
sure,
and besides all the great bands that are out there,
right?
It's all the people that are out there.
Yeah, and all the dudes are, there's foxy guys too, and they're all passing out flyers and inviting you to their upcoming shows, and the chicks are looking hot. They're all starting to wear spandex and doing up their hair. I'm seeing a lot more Aquanet these days.
This is the only problem I have with all that.
Yeah,
sometimes you can't tell the dudes from the chicks anymore.
That's true. They are blurring the line.
Yeah, when you get some of these like super glam bands, which seems to be the new thing,
right?
Where it's like, it's a little more makeup and hairspray than substance.
Right. Yeah,
you have a tough time. You have to give a little package check. just you know what I mean, just to make sure we know who we're doing or what we're doing.
Right, that's fair. Yeah. But I do love how on like Friday or Saturday night you get up there early, you stake out your piece of real estate in front of Gazzari's along the wall, which is perfect for people watching, and the party just goes on in the street, and people are spilling out of the clubs, and it's a whole social scene, and you'll get some leg tonight for sure.
Totally. Yeah, I love the fact that we're talking about this new sort of glam scene that's going on in Sunset Strip and listening to Bill Bruford.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really good.
That's really nice.
Anyway, we do have a phone call.
Okay.
So we should probably go. And
let's
it looks
go
like
to
Chris in Los
12.
Angeles. Chris, are you there? Hello? Chris?
Hello? Hello?
Chris, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, it sounds like it's all going on. Save one of those for me, pal.
Sorry about that. Wait, hold on a second.
Nice. It's a good thing this isn't a family show, that's for sure.
Hey, I'm awake. What's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
We're just rocking and talking about some of the new and up-and-coming bands.
Did you say Dawkins? Did somebody say Dawkins?
Oh, right. That's another great band.
You like those guys?
They just put a new record out.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What's the singer's guy's name? Don Dokken?
Yeah, Don.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, his first initial and last initial are the same letter.
That's cute.
You're having a good night, pal. That's all I can say. I'm glad. Hey, listen, I'm glad we're all here to share this together.
That's right.
I'm not a huge Don Dokken fan. I like the guitar player in the band, but not a huge fan of the singer. Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I like them because they're a little on the glammy side, but they're a little on the heavier side. There's a lot of new really heavy bands that are coming out right now, like Rising Force. There's that new guitar player, that guy Yngwie, who's in that guy Keel's band.
Yeah, I saw Steeler at the Roxy not too long ago, like a year or two ago, I think it was. And this guy Ron Keel, I don't know if you've seen him, Brad,
Yeah,
but
I have.
he's gonna be legendary. This guy's gonna be doing arenas really soon.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, that he's really good.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Right.
I'm not sure about arenas and stuff. Maybe. God, listen, your mouth to Ron Keel's ears.
Right.
Yeah, that guy could sing.
But-
let me tell you.
But you nailed it. You go up to the Sunset Strip these days, and you sort of catch. We're lucky here in L.A. that we get sort of an early glimpse of what the rest of the world is going to get. Because besides the Ron Keels and the Steelers of the world, I mean, I know I've been up there like the last couple of weeks, and I've seen like Pandemonium or Sound Barrier or Bitch.
Sound Rock Without Groove.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah, Bitch is going to be huge. What about you? You ever go up to the Sunset Strip?
Yeah, all the time. Actually, I was a little off the Sunset Strip last weekend at the Palladium, and I actually saw a band called Talus open for that band, Rising Force, I was talking about, with that incredible guitar player. And they had the band Talus had this crazy bass player.
Oh, yeah?
Like he played the bass like it was a guitar. It was crazy. It was
That is
amazing,
crazy.
though.
That's nuts.
Amazing.
Was the Yngwie guy good?
The Yngwie guy was amazing, too. He was really amazing.
He
yeah.
pulls it off, huh?
Great show. The singer was incredible. I think he's a little better than that Keel guy from Steeler, but
Wow.
still,
Those
Who's
are
the-
bold words.
Who's the singer in that
it was
band?
good times. His
You know-
name is
Don't know.
Jeff Soto, I think. is
Jeff
his name.
Soto? Okay. No, I don't know him.
Jeff Soto, amazing. He's really, really good.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, I would check that out. I
was at.
I love the Yngwie guy. I'll say that I do love Yngwie because that guy. You talk about a dude that just like super unique,
Right.
A unique shredder, I should say.
Right.
So
I heard that guy takes a nail filer and he files down the wood in between his frets.
That's crazy.
dude, you need
I'm
it.
serious.
Yeah, you need another one of those things you were doing when you called.
And the hotline for Domino's Pizza.
Yeah, I think you got some things going on, pal.
No, I will say that I was at
Domino's.
I was at Music Plus the other night, and they had that Rising Force album like right out in the front on vinyl and cassette.
Yeah.
So I might have to go pick that up because a lot of people are talking about it.
I absolutely love that. The hand holding the record like in the fire. No, it's a guitar, isn't it? It's a guitar. But it's in fire. How's he doing that?
That's true. All
Nice.
right, you're having a good time.
Nice.
Hey, one more thing. Was it crowded there at the Palladium? I'd imagine it was.
Really crowded. It was really crowded. But you know what? I had actually seen Sound Barrier there 2 weeks before, and it wasn't as crowded as it was for Sound Barrier.
Oh, wow.
Those guys are the real deal.
Wow.
They're
They
going to
are
be
the real
huge.
deal. That band is going to be huge.
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 Huge. I'm
Huge.
telling you.
Enormous.
I mean, and get this. Do you know the weird thing about Sound Barrier?
Well, tell me.
It's a bunch of brothers.
It's true. That's the truth.
Huge. They're gonna be huge.
They're brothers playing metal.
I got to tell you, brothers playing metal, huge.
It's huge.
It's crazy. All right, you guys, rock on.
Rock on,
All right,
dude.
pal. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for the call, I guess. Wow, that's yeah. That I got to tell you something. He's having a good time tonight. That Chris guy.
Do you smell what I smell? It's the rock and roll princess of the Sunset Strip. Rachel's in the house. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in music news with her a little later tonight. But
It's funny, man. Some of these bands. Speaking of the Sunset Strip. Wow. Hi, Rach.
Hi.
What are you up to?
Getting in.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Trip down to the studio, all right?
Yeah, sorry I had a rager last night, so
Oh, yeah?
you know how that goes.
That's funny. Sort of like the guy who we just talked to. Who's that? Maybe you were with him.
Who are you talking to?
Some guy named Chris. He was Chris from L.A. He sounded like he was still raging, actually, if you want to know the truth.
Oh, I think I know him. I've seen him around the strip before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does he dress like a chick?
Oh, he plays in a real cute band.
Wow. Of course, he neglected to tell us that.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Anyway, how about this?
How about this? I
pretty good.
I miss this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like 4 years ago, 5 years ago now.
Crank it up.
Since they did this.
Crank it up. I think these days are long gone, friend.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is almost. I feel like this is a funeral.
Yeah, the new record. I don't know. Grace Under Pressure is just not. It's just not hemispheres.
I love the logo though. The P under the G.
Right.
That's cute.
And I do like the record the album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they think they're progressing. I don't know.
We could like coin a phrase with that.
Nah, wouldn't catch on.
No, it would never catch on.
But
it's art rock. That's all it is.
Listen to that. No, long gone.
Long gone.
We don't get these anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
And they'll certainly never play this live again.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Well, if they keep churning out Signals and Grace Under Pressure, you're certainly not going to get that.
Subdivisions and New World, man. I don't know. It's a different age for that band. But we're talking about some of the other up and coming bands, and the caller mentioned something interesting, and you also alluded to this, but the fact that a lot of bands on the Sunset Strip, they're sort of pushing the envelope now on the makeup. Now I'm used to manly men putting on eyeliner. You know, manly men, like Pandemonium and the guys in Sound Barrier or Steeler, manly men.
We just put on our makeup just to accentuate our eyes.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm seeing like flyers now. Like there's this band from Pennsylvania who just moved out here, and they've been playing like the Troubadour. They've been playing around town. They call themselves Poison, and they look like chicks, dude. There's no way. I mean, there's no way it ever catches on. I mean, it's a total like.
I saw the flyer.
Did you see it?
And I tore it up.
Okay.
It's just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's
just stupid.
I mean, I don't know what audience they're thinking they're going to go for. Guys are going to think they're total fags, and girls are going to go, well, you look like me.
Actually, that's a fairly good point. I mean, maybe they are gay.
Oh, that could be. That could be.
Although, I don't know. It's listen, if you're playing on the Sunset Strip right now,
right,
it's not really the place, I don't think, for gay bands.
That's true.
Although I could be wrong, but as much as you and I are out there on the Strip, there's not a big gay movement going on.
No, and
that's a couple blocks down the street.
And that's why, we talked about it earlier, but you could tell who the manly men are. I mean, you look at somebody like Halford, he's getting chicks. But you look at some of these guys in like the Sunset Strip bands, maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, they are the chicks.
There's another band out here now called Ruby Slippers. Mm-hmm. They totally look like chicks. I mean, this is just drag queen stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not into it. I like the Great Whites. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Jack Russell. That guy just looks. You don't need all that makeup. You don't need all that stuff going on. I mean, I don't mind some of it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm not ashamed to put on the eyeliner every now and again.
Right.
And you go up on the Strip and. We all wear our tight pants.
Sure, I mean, I got my spandex, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything weird wearing spandex. But I'm not teasing up my hair and putting on eyeshadow and lipstick.
Well, it's just I don't know what that's all about. I mean, it feels like I don't know. I can't see the glam thing really taking off too much here. To be honest with you, There's too many rock bands out there. There's too much, like, even Motley Crue, like, for those guys who put on a little bit of makeup and tease their hair.
But that's more like the Kiss. That's more like the Kiss thing, though.
They play rock music.
Yeah.
Those guys they rip on that guitar. That Nikki Sixx dude is tearing it up.
Yeah. You've heard their new record, Shout at the Devil.
That's exactly what I'm referring to. I mean,
it's even heavier.
That's a metal record.
Even heavier than their first record.
Oh, dude, it makes the first record sound like a Duran Duran album.
And I got to see, they're another one of those bands that we were talking about earlier who they've really sort of embraced the fine art of putting together a good video for MTV, because I saw the world premiere of Too Young to Fall in Love the other night.
Yeah.
And it's got like a little bit of a storyline
Yeah.
where they go back into like this whole like Japanese
Video,
slavery
the concept
thing.
video is really what is taking off.
Right.
I'm telling you, I can't wait to see the really like the long form stuff. Like I hope they release them on VHS at some point.
Right.
Because that's the kind of stuff like you want to keep.
Right.
So I hope that maybe one of those bands like a Motley Crue or whatever, who's done a few videos now, they put them all in one thing and they release them on VHS. I'd buy that.
Sure. A buddy of mine has one of the beta players, and he can actually record right off of his TV now.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so he can record like sometimes like late.
Is the quality good?
It's not really good, but it's what else are you going to do? That's the only way. So you're ever going to see it, unless you just want to sit there and watch 24 hours a day MTV to try to catch a Motley Crue video. At least he can record some of this right off his TV, which is pretty cool.
Look, dude, with my whole world revolves around one thing with my VHS, my VCR.
Yeah,
V-hold.
Yeah.
The vertical hold button on that thing, I swear, if I have to turn that thing on again at like 2 a.m. and I see the thing bouncing,
right.
Now, I know that maybe I had a little too much to smoke the night before or whatever.
Right.
But I can't handle it, dude. So I have to sit there and I have to time that V-hold thing. And what happens 10 minutes later? Fucking bouncing all over again. It drives me through the roof.
We haven't gotten one yet, but I was hearing that some of these machines you could actually like program a time and it'll start recording like later, like when you're out of the house or something like that. But I understand it's really hard to figure out how to do it. So
that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
And then
what's the point? Really,
and the thing is those tapes are expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot for a video. What do they call them? Video cassettes.
Yeah,
it's a lot for those.
It comes back to what we were talking about earlier with those. With the new CD things,
compact discs.
Those it's just the truth of the matter is
never going to catch on.
I'd rather buy 2 cassettes than spend money on one of the discs.
Yeah,
and so I sort of feel like that with VHS too. Yeah. It's got to be something really special.
I agree.
I ain't buying the meatballs too. That's for sure.
I wanted to talk about the polar opposite of some of these glammy chick-looking bands that we get on the Sunset Strip, and I'm starting to see, like in Cream Magazine or Circus Magazine, I'm starting to see this sort of new breed of heavy metal bands that are sort of the exact opposite of that, and they're just really sort of scuzzy looking, not good looking dudes, and they're playing like thrashy rock, or I don't know what they even call it.
Those guys are all just look. That's called stoner.
It's like stoner rock,
drinking beer and going out there and cranking it up and beating people up.
Because there's this band, I think they're the Slayers or something like that, and this band Megadeth, and this other one that I've actually been hearing a lot about. They just put out their second album. They're called Metallica,
right?
And they put out this record called Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning is, first of all, I love the name of that album.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the name.
It's good.
And I know the first album, Kill 'Em All, which, if that record doesn't tell you anything about the band, that album, so I don't know what does, but it's pretty good. It's just like, who buys that?
Yeah, who buys that? I mean, that's a really like aggressive, sort of specific to like stoners.
I feel like
kind
guys,
of rock.
I feel like we would buy that because we're interested in buying music. But I can't imagine that, like, who in the rest of the world is buying Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All?
Yeah, I mean, it's
wacky.
Like, I go into like Music Plus, and there's like 12 copies of the new Van Halen, and like 12 copies of the new Scorpions, and then there's like 1 copy of the new Metallica Ride the Lightning.
Well, that means
record.
one of two things.
Yeah.
Either they're almost sold out, or they only bought one.
I think it's probably that they only bought one, because I think it's a really specific demographic that they're going after. And to be fair, I think it's just kind of a fad thing. I mean,
the shows are supposed to be great.
Yeah,
shows are supposed to be really heavy, and the crowd is supposed to be really into it. I mean, the kids love it. It's just, again, it's like, so 12 and 14-year-old kids are really into it. What happens when you become 17 and 18?
Exactly. It's sort of like the Kiss thing. I think the kids that were into Kiss for a while, they grew up and they're not into Kiss anymore, especially now that they're not wearing the makeup.
Yeah.
And the kids that listen to these thrashy bands, it's fun right now, but they're going to grow up and then, they'll listen to, real arena rock again, like Crocus and Blue Oyster Cult.
I wouldn't be surprised if listen, that new Motley Crue record, which is really heavy and thrashy. I mean, it's not a complete departure from some of that Metallica stuff. I mean, it's a little poppier just because they actually feel like they have choruses. You can actually understand the songs a little bit more.
Right.
But it's not a complete departure from that. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe it has a shot. I just don't see a band like I don't see a band like Metallica on the MTV.
Exactly. And that's an important point you just brought up. I think the fact that we have this sort of 24-hour radio station on cable TV now, which is what it is. We could just watch music all day long if we want, and concerts on Friday night, which I'm a fan.
Right.
But it seems to really, I don't know, I think like if you get your video on MTV, I think it might even like make a difference in your sales after a while. I think they're exposing bands, they're exposing the public to bands that we might not otherwise find out about. So you're right. I mean, they're never going to play a band like Metallica.
Yeah.
But they are playing a lot of these, they call them like new wave bands now. And they're playing a lot of this stuff. And it's like Missing Persons or like Wham. That's another guy. I can't say I'm a fan.
I don't acknowledge any of that shit.
Well,
I'm just telling you right now.
I'm not a fan, but I got to say that's another guy. I don't know his name. The lead singer of this band, Wham. You could just tell he is getting lots of chicks.
Yeah,
he's getting a lot of chicks.
I think he is a chick.
No, he's
no way.
I think he's getting a lot of chicks.
No way. You think so? I think that guy, the only thing missing for him is flowers in his hair.
Put him and Rob Halford in a room, and it's going to be a tough call to see where all the ladies flock to.
I don't think so. I think you put him and Halford in a room, and Halford's going to put a blindfold on him and handle his business.
Well, that could be too.
Yeah,
that could be too.
Because I can't see that guy. That guy doubles as a chick. The Wham guy. Seriously, listen to the music.
Yeah, well, I'm with you there, pal. I'm with you there.
I don't know. I don't. To me, that's the problem with well, I guess it's not the problem with MTV. I guess you have to have a lot of content because it's 24 hours. But still, I can't get into all the new wave stuff that they play. Some of it's okay. Like I don't mind the U2 or that's okay.
Yeah, they've got three records out now.
Yeah, but the thing with U2 is at least U2 feels like it comes from more of a punk rock base.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fair.
feel like that is like with Duran Duran or with Wham. That's just sort of dumb. There's that Thompson Twins band too, and I mean even them, it's like I feel there's no guitars, no drums, it's keyboards and a singer.
Right.
And that's too much for me. Bless you. So, not into that.
The interesting about U2 though, I've seen some clips of them. I don't know if they've done any videos or anything, but they did have like an MTV concert. It was like at Red Rocks.
The Under the Blood Red Sky?
Yeah. And so they showed this concert. It was like raining outside, this outdoor, this cool looking venue. I think it's in Colorado. And so they played this show. And I forget the lead singer's name, but he's like in like these tight black pants. And he's got a little bit of like a mullet thing going on. And he's waving this flag. They seem kind of militant.
But that song is really good.
That's
the Sunday Bloody Sunday thing. The song is really good.
Let's be honest. They're going to end up being, they're cool, but they're going to end up being a one-hit wonder because that's the only song anybody's ever going to remember.
Yeah, but that song is really good.
Yeah, that song is really good.
If you're going to be a one-hit wonder,
that's a good one to have.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a good one to have. But yeah, I mean, they're a little militant, but I kind of get it. I kind of get where they're going. It's not quite punk rock, and at least they're not relying so heavily on keyboards like a lot of the other new wave bands.
No, I don't feel like it's. I feel like they sort of straddle the fence into that rock world and that new wave world, and that it's not quite as heavy as rock would be, but it's certainly not like gay like new wave. Are we allowed to say that?
Sure.
It's not quite. It's just not quite that feminine-y.
So they've got like 1 foot in Crocus and 1 foot in Psychedelic Furs.
No, let's not go crazy with Crocus.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's a
you've gone
little
to the
more
extreme.
That's a little more serious than U2's ever going to
Yeah,
be. That's true.
You've definitely gone to the extreme.
That's true.
That's a good name for a band, by the way.
Yeah,
Extreme.
Nobody in U2 is ever going to have the chest hair that Mark Storace has. They're just
No.
not that manly.
No. Oh, no. Well, I don't know, dude. That dude
They're-
prancing around with his little flag.
they're-
He could kick your ass.
They're English, right?
Woohoo.
U2?
Somewhere over there.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where they're from. I know they're not American.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah, but neither's Crocus, and
Is
they
it
got chest hair.
Is it an American flag?
They
that
got
guy's
chest
holding?
hair. No, I think it was just like a white flag or like, like peace or something.
Maybe he should surrender.
Yeah. Right.
So there you go. So there you go.
Very nice.
See how that always happens?
It's serendipitous.
Yeah. I do love this record, but I have to say the Shout at the Devil record is a lot heavier than this.
Yeah.
Doesn't he sound a little bit like that Rat band? The singer.
Yeah. What's his name? Piercy.
Stephen Pierce.
Yeah.
He sounds a little bit like Vince
Well,
Neil.
let's be honest. A lot of these bands, they're still sort of finding their own way, and so a lot of them have a lot of common musicality about what they do. And so, Motley Crue and Rat and like Pandemonium or Bitch.
Well, these
they're a lot of it sounds kind of similar.
I just mean the singers sound almost they have that same tone in their voice where they sound like
Right.
It's not like they're not twins, but if the Rat singer sang on a Motley Crue record, I'd get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But this is a great tune.
That's fair. Okay, well, why don't we go to another tune? I've got a little treat for you. This is something off this.
Is it Center of Eternity?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Very exciting.
Enjoy.
Oh
has returned to the rock and roll channel with their new album, Grace Under Pressure. Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, Neil Peart, continuing in their tradition of profound excellence. Hear Rush, Grace Under Pressure, now.
University Stereo is smashing through the high price barrier. It's the month-end price war. It's a fight to the finish, and you're going to be the winner. That's a manufacturer's price list, and we're ripping it to shreds. Right now at University Stereo, stereo headphones for $288, 90-minute low-noise cassette, 69 cents, a Shure cartridge with diamond stylus, only $4.49, or a complete Toshiba component system, not a compact, with 8-track recorder, turntable, and two-way speakers, not $299, just $199. And University Stereo announces the Coca-Cola Super Bowl of Motocross, your only chance this year to see the world's best motorcycle racers in the LA Coliseum. Tickets at Ticketron. And you can register to win one of 16 Honda PA50 mopeds at any University Stereo now. No wonder. University Stereo.
Believe in us. We're Music Plus. All the music you've ever heard has led to this. Sea Level, Cats on the Coast. You want to hear it again and again. And the Dixie Dregs, What If? The Dixie Dregs and Sea Level, Evolutionary Music, Capricorn Records and Tapes.
Hello, I'm Phil Collins, and this has to be the silliest show that I've ever heard.
And welcome back to the Used Bin Radio Show, your favorite place to be on the FM dial for all the music chat that you people can handle.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I would like to welcome you back.
Yes. So right now we would like to talk about, we've been talking a lot about the heavy metal and this new glam thing happening on the Sunset Strip, but let's shift gears a little bit for the folks in the audience who, like us, appreciate some art rock.
We're diverse.
We are diverse.
We do different things. We'll put on our makeup, but then we will crank up the Genesis.
Right. We'll put
which
on
is
our
weird.
We'll put on our flower heads, our Slipperman outfits,
Yes.
if you will.
And then we will crank up some Caravan.
We do that from time to time, or some Nectar. But
underrated.
It's way underrated.
Way underrated.
But it's interesting right now. It's sort of like art rock is sort of like a bad word now. It's like it's not cool. Even some of my favorite art rock bands of the 70s, it's like this sort of distancing themselves from what they used to do.
Right.
Yes has this brand new record out, 90125.
Which for all intents and purposes here in Los Angeles is a zip code.
It is a zip code. And I'm glad John Anderson is finally back in the band, because Drama was it was a good record. But it
wasn't Yes.
It wasn't Yes. So I'm glad John Anderson is back. But they got this new guy on guitar instead of Steve Howe, who's writing a lot of the songs, and so it's a lot more pop. And the fact that they've got this single, "Owner of a Lonely Heart," I don't know. That's tough. I mean, where's my Tales of Topographic Oceans now?
Well, that's the weird thing. I get, and I hate to bring it back to the to Rush. But somehow it seems to always come back to that.
We're good like that.
Yeah, I guess. It just seems to be the same thing, where it's like all of a sudden the monster's out of the box. I mean, that 90125 record is being. I feel like every time I turn on every radio station, I hear that. That Owner of a Lonely Heart song.
Right.
It drives me crazy, and I don't know if they're trying to slim down the songs a little bit and commercialize themselves. Like, I just don't get it.
And it's weird now. You walk around like the high school halls or something like that, and it's like it's cool to like Yes all of a sudden.
And it was never
never like that. It was our band. It was a cultish kind of thing.
Yeah.
We liked our sort of secret society of art rock, of King Crimson and Yes and Genesis. And now
they're a commercial success.
Sure.
And
now,
that's weird.
And now the dudes on the football team, or the cheerleaders, they're listening to Owner of a Lonely Heart now.
Cheerleaders can listen to whatever they want.
Sure they can.
That's the rule.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a weird time for art rock now, and like you said, Rush, Grace Under Pressure. This is not the Hemispheres or Farewell to Kings days anymore.
Can I just say this real quick?
Yeah.
About art rock. I was never a fan of that name.
Yeah.
I just don't like the. I don't know, because I'll tell you why. It just
Well, a lot of them call themselves orchestral rock.
But that's a little bit better for me. But the art rock name, that sort of genre title, it's weird. I can't. You know me, I'm a simple guy.
Right.
I when I hear art rock, I think of pretty pictures, somebody painting pretty pictures, and listening to James Taylor.
Well,
it's weird to me.
You've seen those Yes album covers; those are pretty pictures.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know what I'm saying,
right?
I can't seem to wrap my head around that title anyway.
Right.
So. Anyway, whatever they're going to call themselves, the music is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go to the phones?
Yeah, let's go to line 6. This is
Todd from Oakland.
Hi,
Todd. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. How about you?
Really good.
What's going on, man?
Oh well, hey, I heard you guys talking about art rock and Genesis. And thought I'd weigh in. I got to see the Mama show last week up here in Oakland.
Oh, nice. Now,
How's that?
I'm a big fan from way back. So what do you think of what they're doing now compared to the old stuff?
Well, it's not the art rock it used to be, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I do really love it. But I mean, we're talking about these smaller songs now, just like Owner of a Lonely Heart gets played everywhere. We're hearing That's All the time.
Right, and illegal aliens.
It's the commercialization of our music, man. What's going on?
What's going on?
It's a little bit tough to accept, I got to admit. But I mean, the show was great, and they put on a great show, and Phil was a great showman, and but it's not Peter Gabriel era Genesis anymore.
What do they play now?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. I think they're sort of marching towards these shorter songs. It kind of started back with Duke and Abacab.
Right.
So they're kind of continuing on that stretch. But, I mean, they open with Dodo and Lurker, which was really sweet.
Nice.
But then we get into some Abacab, and That's All. And but they do an unbelievable version of Mama. That have you guys seen the show yet?
I caught it here at the Forum.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a pretty big show, and I wish they were throwing some more oldies in there. Although they did do that medley about midway through the show, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the show is when we get into Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and Bertha Fifth.
Right.
Now, does everybody see? Because I haven't seen the show, so I'm curious with all the. I don't know if it's newfound popularity, but these shorter, more accessible songs, it seems to be bringing in a different crowd. So are they into the Lamb stuff, or do they get it? Or is that sort of when those guys all go to the bathroom and the diehards get their fill?
Yeah, that's when
so to speak.
We all rush to the stage, and everyone else, and those people lose their seats.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
That was good, but it's nice to hear the old stuff. I heard Joe mention, our flower costumes,
right?
But none of that's happening on this show.
Yeah, that's a drag. At least I remember, what was it, like 2 years ago when they were touring for Three Sides Live, they put Supper's Ready back in the set for a little while, and that was pretty large. But this time, I remember one of the things that stuck out. Maybe they did this in Oakland. I haven't read anything about it, but they did this whole segment of the show where Phil was like trying to like get in touch with like ghosts. It was like a big arena-sized seance where he was trying to get in touch with the other world. I forget what song he was introducing when he was doing it, but it was like a whole like shtick thing.
Yeah, it goes on for quite a while.
Yeah,
and no, that's Home by the Sea. That's the intro to Home by the Sea.
That's right.
And yes, it's very spooky, and he's. Yeah, but it's fun. He got the whole crowd into it for sure.
Yeah,
that's good.
So we had a good time with that. But
the only thing I really minded about the show, besides the fact that they're not playing, a lot of the old stuff that I'd really like, is for the encore. I love that they're doing something off Duke. Turn It On Again is a great tune. But then Phil put on like that sort of Blues Brothers hat and the dark sunglasses and did that whole Motown medley at the end. And I just thought, this is the same guy who did Ripples a few years ago, or the same guy who did the 11th Earl of Mar a few years ago.
I'm just so uncomfortable even hearing about that because you figure the next thing the guy's going to do is do like a whole Motown record. And what a disaster that would be.
That would be a disaster.
That would be awful.
And, I mean, it's just...
he looks good in a fedora and everything, but
But enough's enough, right?
I don't think we're ready for that. I mean, I will tell you, we did get a little bit of 11th Earl of Mar earlier in the show.
Right, just like the intro, right.
Yeah, so, I mean, it kind of made up for it, but but that medley was extremely interesting.
Yeah. They're good at that. They're really good at that. They've been doing that for the last couple of tours now, where when they can't put the 20-minute epics in, at least they'll give you a medley of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like that whole In the Cage and Afterglow segment. I mean, that's good stuff. That's one of my favorite parts of the show now.
It's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I was okay with the Motown medley until we got to Karma Chameleon.
Right. Yeah,
What?
yeah. He threw in a couple of seconds of like Karma Chameleon, and what else was in there? Like
we got Every Breath You Take.
Every Breath. Yeah,
Wait,
he did
Karma Chameleon.
Yeah, he did.
What's that? The culture
Boy George guy.
Culture Club.
Yeah,
Culture Club. Genesis.
Yeah, isn't that
Culture
weird?
Club?
Isn't that weird?
Does the phrase "jump the shark" mean anything to anybody?
Yeah, right.
Good Lord.
I saw that Happy Days episode.
Yeah. Did any of us ever miss a Happy Days episode?
No, that was good stuff.
Seriously,
that was good stuff.
Good stuff.
You had to wait all summer to find out what happened.
That's true. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Well, the whole series led up to his fear of sharks. So, so why not make us wait a full another year?
Yeah. Are you big into the whole art rock or orchestral rock thing?
Well, yeah, I'm sort of. I came on board with Genesis, and I listened to a lot of Yes and some King Crimson and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm hoping that Genesis will hold my interest for a little while longer.
Yeah,
and I don't have to just listen to old records. 'Cause
right.
I really love that stuff.
Yeah,
there's a new Crimson record out this coming out.
Yeah,
too.
how weird is
Three of that?
Three
of a Perfect Pair.
The fact that they're even back together now is weird. Although it's not the original guys. But at least Robert Fripp is still around, and he's got like a whole new bunch of guys. Bill Bruford's in there, so that's cool.
Yeah. Who's I can't remember who are the new guys. The
I forget.
The bass player guy is.
He used to play with Peter Gabriel for a little while, but I forget his name.
Tony Levin.
Is that it?
Levin.
Yeah, Tony Levin, and the frontman singer guy is chick name, right? Guy with a chick name.
Cher.
Not Cher.
Not Cher.
Cher. I know, but I like that a lot better.
That would be good.
I just like the idea of Cher singing for King Crimson.
Sure. How about that? But
what does that look like?
But it's just weird that they're even around in 1984. That there is a King Crimson, because they're a 70s art rock band, and so the fact that they're even around is pretty cool.
They're progressing.
Really cool.
Yeah,
progressing.
But you're right. It's going to be an interesting journey here in the next few years to see what happens with these so-called art rock bands.
Yeah.
With everything that's happening in music now, the pop is so popular, and that's all really speaks to how Genesis has evolved. So.
Yeah, and I know Phil Collins. Just go back to Genesis. He obviously had a lot of success with the first couple of solo records that he puts out. But it's just nice at the end of the day that he's still the singer of Genesis. I hate when guys like that just leave. I mean, I can't imagine he'd ever leave Genesis, because that's his
right.
That's going to pay the bills. The solo records are not going to pay the bills.
Who's taller,
No, I don't
Phil
think so.
Collins or Ronnie Dio?
That's a good call. I don't know. That's a tough call, actually.
Tough call.
Ronnie wears those little boots, so he might have a couple of inches on Phil.
That's fair.
Yeah,
and he's got hair.
True.
Yes, he's got bigger hair.
He doesn't dress maybe as dapper as Phil. I mean, Phil has the suspenders and the thin tie.
That's right, the suspenders.
Well, yeah, but Ronnie is gothic with dragons and rainbows.
Yes,
so
we love that.
Yeah, who doesn't?
It's a little bit spookier music, perhaps.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I also got to tell you the funniest piece of merchandise that I picked up at the show.
Oh, good.
Okay.
What do they got?
So, of course, I got my baseball jersey with the album cover on it and all the tour dates, and that's great. But they also had, have you seen people driving around on their cars with a yellow, like diamond-shaped sign that says baby on board?
I actually have seen that. What does that mean? Is that a new thing?
You're supposed to be careful driving around them because they have a baby in their car or something.
Oh, it's literal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. I thought like that was a band or something. I had no idea that was like
John Waite and the Babies. Great band.
There you go.
I could be wrong.
I had no idea like that really meant like, hi, we have a little human here.
I don't know, but in the Bay Area, everyone has those on their cars. I mean, I guess only if they have a baby.
Right.
That's funny.
Oh, okay.
Well, because here in Los Angeles, everybody's got the KLOS rainbow decals on their cars.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Way to plug the other station.
Yeah, right? Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, so they had these same yellow signs that say Genesis on board.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's clever.
Okay.
Clever marketing.
That's now attached to the window of my Camaro, and I let everyone know.
Nice.
That I'm rocking out to Genesis.
Hey, how much did your baseball jersey run you? About $6, $10?
Yeah, I think it was $12.50.
Wow, that's an expensive one.
Yeah,
because I know in the parking lot they're selling the like the pirated shirts for like $2,
sure.
$2, $3.
Right.
But I bought the the black the official black jersey with the half white sleeves. And I think it was like $9.50.
Dude, it's unbelievable. The prices of the shirts and stuff, and even the programs,
I always buy the programs. It's usually $5, and it's $5 well spent because for $5 you get all kinds of great photos of the band, and there's it's got a list of the tour dates, and I just know from for years to come I'm just going to look at them all the time.
Well, let me tell you, I blame all of this on Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, right?
He's a jackass.
Reaganomics?
And I appreciate you jacking up the price of my concert tickets, jacking up the price of my concert T-shirts.
And cable TV, because I want my MTV.
That's right.
We're going to, like I said before, some neighborhoods still don't even get it.
Yeah.
And
you guys are killing me right now. I don't have it.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Well,
oh, man, I have to say a lot of our bands in the
art rock world, they're not represented.
I don't even like saying it.
Art rock,
yeah. But they're really not represented. But they're not built for that. They're not built for that kind of channel. Unfortunately, now with bands like Genesis who are writing pop songs are going to be all over MTV. So
right.
Anyway, you're not missing too much as far as that goes.
Yeah, but glad you enjoyed the show, and
thanks for the review, man. That was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wonderful show, and can't wait to see what's next from those guys.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Agreed.
So,
all right, Todd, thanks for the call, bud.
Thanks for listening.
Love listening to the show, and you guys have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bitter.
Yeah, well, a lot of, as a fan of whatever you want to call it, art rock, orchestral rock, music that's sort of forward-looking and progressing, if you will.
That's what they should call it.
Progressing music?
Progressing music.
Progressing rock.
How about progressive rock?
That's interesting. I don't know if that'd catch on, but a lot of the art rock bands, whatever you want to call them, that I loved in the 70s and the ones that are still around today, like I said, they're kind of letting me down. They're going down a pop road. They're going down a new wave road. The new King Crimson, it almost feels a little new wave-ish to me. The new Rush, heavy on the keyboards, like we said. Genesis, making pop music. When I saw what some of the old guys from like Emerson, Lake and Palmer were doing, and they formed this band Asia with Steve Howe,
which you would think
would be
this big super
art rock band.
No bueno.
It was more pop than any of the other bands we're talking about. So they're kind of letting me down. Yeah. But I'm here to tell you that there is at least a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. There is a great white hope, if you will. I discovered this new band, English band. They just put out their second album. It's called Fugazi, and the band is called Marillion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know too much about them. I heard the first record. It sounds a lot like Gabriel era Genesis.
Right.
And it feels kind of like a conceptual record.
Right.
And like the songs almost kind of flow together, like it almost tells a story.
I heard the first record too.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool. It's just it's like, God, man, it's just so like, it just feels the keyboard-ish, and you have to really wrap your head around the almost I don't want to say ethereal, but the ethereal part of the whole thing.
Right.
Because you're right, all the songs do sort of run together, and it feels like one big long story.
Yeah.
And it's like a joke. If you're not in on the joke, the punchline means nothing.
Yeah.
And you really have to go start to finish with a record like that.
Yeah. And you kind of get the feeling that they were, like, these guys were raised on early Genesis, because there's a lot of that sort of like dexterity and I don't know what you would call it, where you play a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that going on in the music, and there's something very almost theatrical, almost operatic about it, because like lyrically it's all very grandiose and very big,
with great choruses.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, the melodies are fantastic.
And then but on this new record, Fugazi, I'm not sure if it's going to catch on, because it's a really it's a hard sell. The mainstream will never appreciate this. It's not like they're writing like pop songs or anything like that.
Listen, you give them a little more credit. You have to give the listening audience a little more credit. God, look, man, if bands like Duran Duran are catching on, anything is possible.
That's fair. I guess the thing I'm excited about this band is that, like I said, with all the art rock bands that I've grown up with sort of letting me down, it's like this band Marillion, they make me a little bit more excited about the genre and excited about the future. It's almost like they're providing, I don't know, you could say like a better way. They provide a better way.
Maybe.
Let's just put it like that.
If people are going to catch on, if this thing is going to catch on, it's going to blow up.
All right,
it'll be big.
Well, let's.
Would you agree?
I would totally agree. And so I would like to give our listeners an early look.
Wait, before you do that, crank this up a minute. Speaking of blowing up.
Oh yeah, you heard about that?
Yeah, we'll cover this later.
We'll talk about that, I'm sure, with
Rachel,
the rock and roll princess of the Sunset Strip.
I'm just saying. It's blowing up.
It's blowing up good. Yeah. It was a thriller, wasn't it?
It was off the wall.
Oh, look out. But I want to give our listeners an early glimpse of this new band. And this is a little bit of Marillion. Enjoy.
For 15 years, they were kept under wraps by a country who decreed they were too loud for America. But now they've broken free. Heavy metal just got a hernia. Spinal Tap is on the way.
Winchell's is taking 75 cents off any dozen donuts.
No, you don't mean any dozen, Norma.
Any dozen, Ralph.
Oh, look at those chocolate ones.
Oh, and the apple fritters.
Oh, no, not the lemon. 75 cents off the lemon?
Any dozen, Ralph.
They stop at nothing, Norma.
I know, Ralph. Here's the car keys.
75 cents off any dozen donuts. Anytime at any Winchell's.
Used Bin Radio. What are you listening to?
Listen!
And welcome back to the Used Bin Radio Show, your favorite place on the FM dial. And we're talking tunes all night long, because that's the way we are.
Speaking of thrash, here's your thrash metal for you. Does this really take off?
No, this is a guilty pleasure. I mean, this has got a few good years in it, but you know, the kids that are into this, they're going to grow up. They're going to grow out of this pretty quick.
You would think so. Listen to that.
This is the future.
What?
This is the future. This is
Wow.
what the kids are going to gravitate towards. They'll never be as big as Ozzy. I mean, because he's Ozzy,
Right.
you know. But
You think?
I think.
I dig it. I won't
You
lie
don't,
to you.
you, don't,
I
you don't think Culture
it's
Club is
good.
the future?
Don't get me wrong. It's no Power Slave, but, you know.
Listen, I'm. Yeah, it's true. It's pretty good.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm with Joe on this one. I think eventually these 12-year-old kids grow up and then they move on.
I don't know. I think this is what Motley Crue wishes they could be.
That could be.
You know?
That's fair. That's reasonable.
We'll see.
Listen to him sing. Wait, turn it up just real quick.
Yeah, that's a singing style that's really aggressive.
Oh,
seriously, right?
Speaking of aggressive, I just picked up a new album by the band called Venom. And the
I haven't even
album's
heard of
called
them.
At War with Satan.
Nothing aggressive about that.
Now,
All right.
I don't know if Metallica is a Venom, you know.
Well-
I see big things in their future.
Well, you hear her here in the Used Bin Studios, so you know what that means. It's that time of the night again. It's time for Rachel. Yes, she's the hard-rockin' Sunset Strip princess with all the music news, bringing you up to speed for 1984 with everything that's going on in the music world. How's it going, Rach?
Hey, dudes.
What's up?
How's it going?
Rulin, how are you?
Oh, good.
What's going on with you?
Oh, well.
Look nice tonight.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
This
I like-
old thing?
I'm a fan of the spikes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Lace and leather.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Y&T song?
Yeah, it's getting warm in here. That's all I can say. Good day.
Good day.
All right. So, Rach, what's happening?
So, I have to say, I went to the drive-in. I was in Long Beach. I went to the drive-in this weekend,
Yeah.
and I saw two crazy movies. One was crazy good,
Mhm.
and one was also good, but insanely scary. Totally having nightmares, and it's called The Nightmare on Elm Street. It's,
I saw a commercial for that.
Oh my gosh, it is so scary. It's basically these kids are having nightmares. This guy is killing. If you die in your dreams, you die in real life. I don't want to give too much of the story
nice.
away,
Yeah.
but the guy looks wicked. He lives in a boiler room.
It's
I
awesome.
mean, come on. And then me and my boyfriend, we snuck over to The Terminator. Oh my God.
Nice.
Now, you've probably been hearing a lot of big things about this movie.
Yeah.
The director, James something or another,
No clue.
there's lots of talk about him right now. Huge movie, really good, great concept.
The bodybuilder guy.
Is he's like German
Schwarzenegger,
or something.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is he German?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Something. He has an accent. Yeah, he plays.
He's the guy, right?
He's a cyborg sent from the future to kill this woman.
Oh.
Don't want to give it too much away. I think
Okay.
I think I'm good there.
All
I think I'm
right.
good there. But definitely worth your $350. So
Nice.
You know.
Nice. Is there a sequel in there?
I would hope so.
I'm in.
I can't give anything away. No,
don't do that. I mean, that sounds great.
But you never know nowadays.
So you were at the... Let me just back up for a second, because it just dawned on me. You were at the drive-in.
Yes.
And watched a movie? I'm just saying.
Well, we didn't go there to watch a movie, but
you went to the
we snuck in the bong.
There you go.
Spilled the bong in the back. Kind of got off to a rocky start.
Sort of like going to the fights and a hockey game broke out, right?
Exactly.
I understand.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotcha.
But he has a good stereo system, so I mean, the movie was good.
Is that what you call it now? A stereo system? It's got a nice rig, huh?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
University stereo.
All right. I'm a Pacific stereo guy myself. Nice. That's just me. All right. Well, let's get to work.
All right.
It's gotten very warm in here very quick.
All right. Okay.
It's not because of Joe's leather pants.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, because you were talking about art rock, and I was just curious. This is what I've heard, and there's no real way for me to get the information correct. Did art rock start? Did the term start? Was that from the painter Andy Warhol? I thought he started the term art rock when he threw together.
He did the album cover for the Velvet Underground.
The Velvet Underground.
That's a good point. It could be. I mean, I know that like sometimes in like Circus Magazine or something like that, or more than that, like Hip Parader magazine, they'll cover some of the English art rock bands, and it just seems like a lot of these guys, like the Genesis guys or the King Crimson guys, it's like they have like an art school background,
right?
So it could be like that, but yeah, the Andy Warhol thing makes sense. I'm not really sure where the term started.
Well, because I have a bet going on with my friend.
Yeah.
He thinks it's Pink Floyd that started the whole art rock. Coined the term.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Andy Warhol. I could have sworn I read that somewhere, maybe in a BAM or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say this. I would say that the I don't know who coined that phrase, but it's definitely that music is more thinking man's music or thinking woman's music. You can't. It's not one of those things you just sort of turn on and you tune in and out. You know what I mean?
It's very like experimental. There's all kinds of crazy sounds.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. It's not this Metallica band. You know what I mean? Which any knucklehead on the streets is going to get.
Well, that's definitely a Hesher kind of.
Yeah. I mean, no offense to Metallica. It's just, you know what I mean? They're just different. It's a different deal. That's all.
Yeah.
That's
You're
all.
on something completely different thinking of that band.
That's true.
You're thinking of all kinds of other things.
That's exactly right. That's fair. All right, good question.
Okay, so let's get into the news. You guys had kind of, left the trail end of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson received a hospital treatment for a serious burn on his head after his hair caught on fire during a freak filming accident. The 25-year-old entertainer was singing his hit Billie Jean for a Pepsi Cola commercial when some pyrotechnics went off and his hair went ablaze.
Obviously we saw the story, and I'm not a huge fan of Michael Jackson, but I mean I remember seeing, what was it, like a couple of years ago when he was on some awards show and he did that moonwalk thing, and he's been really popular, and that Thriller record has sold millions of copies, and people are really into him. I remember him as little Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5. That's how I sort of remember him. But he's got this whole new sort of like hipster crowd that's into him, and almost like dance music crowds are into him now. I love that he had Eddie Van Halen on the record, so I have nothing bad to say about the guy. There's nothing controversial about him. Everybody seems to like him. He seems like a good dude.
Speaking of controversy, I heard that it was Jermaine Jackson who did the fireworks, who did the pyrotechnics.
His brother?
His brother. I think there's some hidden aggression there. I think he's angry he left the 5.
And then Michael Jackson's just a big star now.
That's just what I heard.
I guess. That's
weird.
Rumors, I never heard of that.
You know how those rumors start.
That's true.
But
that's true.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. I didn't see anyone get hurt. I mean, I'm not a Michael Jackson fan really either. I just sort of played that song as a goof. But, I hope he's all right. I hope he doesn't...
at least it didn't burn his beautiful face. I mean...
Is that what you call that?
That's the money shot.
That's what I hear.
That's the money maker.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
That's the money maker. Woo! Yep, that money shot, all right. I feel bad for the guy. I hope he's not too badly burned. I saw some of the photos.
Yeah.
And in the paper, and it did not look good.
It looks scary.
Yeah.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, is that right?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. I hope the guy's all right. Like Joe said, I have nothing against the guy. I mean, he's very talented. You can't argue that. And those songs on that Thriller record are pretty good. But
he's got McCartney on one of those songs, right?
On Thriller?
Yeah, the girl is mine, I think.
Is McCartney on that song?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, so he gets a little bit of credit. So now he's got the Van Halen credit and he's got the McCartney credit. All right. So now I'm very upset that he's got burned, and I'll go down and hold vigil. How about that?
Well, it's not like he can afford to get it fixed or taken care of. I heard plastic surgery. They're making waves.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Listen, that kind of progress, sure. I mean, they're gonna. And when you have money like that now, and you're that kind of a superstar, you can sort of almost do anything.
I mean, a black guy can be white if he wanted to be.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
And then he could. That's right.
That was my Vincent Price Thriller impersonation.
Very nice. And then he could write a song called Black and White. How about that?
Right.
Okay,
Nice.
well,
What else you
speaking of Pink Floyd, Bob Geldof, vocalist for Irish rock act Boomtown Rats, he has organized an all-star recording session for a charity single to raise money for Ethiopian famine relief. The single, Do They Know It's Christmas, co-written by Geldof, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She spaced out listening to the background tunes.
I know. We do that sometimes.
I love this song.
Oh, turn it up.
Turn it up. Enough's enough.
I'm up to here with all your stuff.
Wacky tune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys don't like the new wave.
It's okay. So listen, it has its moments, just sort of like anything. I just don't think I love a lot of it.
Oh, my gosh. I love Wham.
You do?
Oh, God. Yeah, you guys were talking about George Michaels.
Oh, that's scare straight.
He's straight. He's so sexy.
Is he the one with the tight shorts?
I heard he was dating Brooke Shields. So him and Brooke Shields are dating.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yes, but that
No.
Andrew Ridgely guy, totally gay.
He's the other Wham guy?
Yeah, he's totally gay. He's gay.
You know
George is straight.
You want to know what I think?
What?
I think this whole conversation's gay.
So tell me about Bob Geldof. What's he doing? He's doing a charity single?
So he's doing a charity single, and speaking of George Michael of Wham, he's going to be featured on the song Sting, Bono, that's the guy.
Oh, the
that's
U2 dude.
The U2 guy.
Right,
you guys were
right,
asking. Okay.
right. Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Yes.
Military guy.
Simon Le Bon and Phil Collins and all kinds of others are going to be joined in this song, and they're going to raise money for Ethiopia.
For Ethiopia?
For famine relief. So.
Good. They're hungry over there.
Yeah, it's a good cause.
Need some food, yo.
Well, they're hungry over here too.
True.
So Geldof puts this single together. He's raising money, and it sounds like he's got all English pop stars like singing and playing on the record. So that's cool, but I wonder, they should do something like that in America. Right? I mean, it would make sense.
Well, who would you get?
Wait, really quick. What is this thing called? Does it have a name, or is it just a...
Well, the song is called Do They Know It's Christmas? So...
Oh, so it's coming out in the spring.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
And I think they're calling the group Band Aid or something like that.
Oh, now isn't that clever?
Right, it's clever.
That's a good name.
Oh, Band Aid, get it? Band Aid.
So I'm thinking that Geldof should do like an American Band Aid. And like, who would be on that? Because it would be, it would have to be like Springsteen and Michael Jackson. Bon Jovi, maybe.
Bon Jovi?
Well, he's still kind of young. He's still kind of new to the game, so maybe not Jovi, but
Motley Crue.
Maybe Motley Crue. Who else would be on that? Hall & Oates.
The American version of this? I don't know. Does it have to be? Are we talking metal or
Prince?
Van Halen?
Prince for sure.
Prince?
Oh yeah, I got that new Purple Rain album.
You like this?
Woo! Awesome.
I think
album of the year.
She's the
she's bold words.
Oh my
she's
gosh.
the new wave princess. No more Sunset Strip princess for you.
Let me just say that Prince
Turn in
is
your
so
card.
sexy. Whoa. He just oozes sex on the stage. Whew. You guys need to see him live.
If you went to the drive-in with Prince, do you watch the movie?
Oh no.
Wow.
I can't see past the steam.
Wow. That's fair.
Wow.
A lot going on.
He'd probably
All right.
he'd be writing with his finger, "Help!
I'm being attacked.
I'm being attacked."
How about that?
All right. I think I'd probably like to see that.
Yeah, lace and leather.
That's right.
He's got the lace.
Fair enough.
I'm just thinking, if he's doing this charity single, at some point he should probably organize a concert, right? Maybe they could do like a one-off at, I don't know, like Royal Albert Hall or Wembley or something like that, and they could do like a big concert, and all the ticket proceeds could go to famine relief.
Yeah, but
let's hear the tune first.
But if he's having a concert, does that mean that like the song that they're all kind of playing in a band together, like different musicians join together and make a super band,
I
some
don't
kind
know.
of super group band?
I don't know. It's not like it's going to happen anyway. I just thought it would be funny.
I'd say that's quite. You got to give Gildoff a lot of credit. That's quite an organizing nightmare, I would imagine. All these guys with their big old egos and everything going on, trying to get them, excuse me, to schedule one day.
You got to give Joe some
To go
credit.
in there
That's a
and do
good
that?
idea, Joe.
To do what?
Like the US Festival.
Right.
Something like the US
yeah,
Festival,
kind of
right?
something like that.
Yeah, but those guys are all getting paid. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Boy George and George Michael or whatever, they're not showing up for free, I don't think, just to play. I mean...
Well, they're only showing up if there's more guys there.
What? George Michael's not gay. Boy George, I heard he's gay.
I think she's right about this one. I think George Michaels is getting all kinds of chicks.
What's the difference between the two?
Now Gary Newman, I can't figure out, but
Well, Gary
it's
Newman,
pretty
I
hard
think
these days.
Gary Newman's just like, he's nothing. He's not.
What?
How's that?
Well, he's, he likes his cars.
Well, that's fair. It's what he does in the car. That's what we're talking about. And I like the Cars, by the way. Heartbeat City. You listen to that record yet?
Sure. I like Candy O a little bit better, and the first record was great.
Well,
because we haven't talked about it, but last year when that movie came out, the Ridgemont movie, they had that one scene where they used the song from the first Cars record.
Oh yeah.
And what's her name? Linda's coming out of the pool.
Oh, Brad.
You
know how cute I always thought you were.
That was a great movie.
Oh my gosh, I heard that
I'm with you.
all the video rental stores are in an uproar because that scene is not playing because people keep rewinding that scene over and over again. They're wearing out the tape.
One word for you. V-hold. That's all I can tell you.
The buzzword for tonight, vertical hold.
Oh, yeah.
V-hold.
That was my... Phoebe Cates is my hero. That's all I can tell you.
Very nice. Well, what else we got going on in the music
All right.
news?
Oh, Vince Neil. He was in an accident. A pretty serious accident, actually. Hani rock drummer Nicholas Razzle Dingley
Okay. It's fine.
was killed in an automobile accident.
Yeah.
The driver of the car was Vince Neil of Motley Crue. Neil lost control of his Pantera sports car. I like that name.
Pantera?
That's a good name.
It's a good name for a rock band.
That'd be a good band name.
I'm with you. That's good.
And he lost control of his car, and he hit an oncoming vehicle in Redondo Beach, California. And the two passengers on the other side of the vehicle suffered significant damage and remain in critical condition. But Dingley didn't make it.
Yeah, I think Vince is in a lot of trouble. That's just my
Well,
opinion.
he was drunk driving. He was a
Yeah.
DUI. So, I mean, it's a pretty serious offense. This could be the last we see of Motley Crue. Or at least of Vince Neil.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree. I mean, it's not like, you kill somebody. It's not like you're going to get off with a slap on the wrist. He's gonna end up being in prison for a long time, and that band's either going to be on hold or they're done.
Yeah, drinking and driving is a serious offense, and they're probably going to make an example out of him. So, young kids aren't going to do the same thing.
We were talking earlier about Stephen Pearcy. He may be the new singer of Motley Crue, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. You know what? First of all, guy killed somebody. I mean, take the music out of it for a minute. He killed another guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a horrible thing, and it's another example of a band that has gotten really big, really quick, got a ton of money, and are stupid.
Well, I heard that's the night that the Sunset Strip, went quiet. They dimmed the lights.
Yeah, I heard that.
It was a sad day.
Yeah.
So
I'll make a prediction right here on Useman FM, and that is that because Vince Neil is probably going to end up doing a lot of jail time. I remember that before Motley Crue, the bass player Nicky Sixx. He was in a band on the Sunset Strip for a little while called Wasp for just a short period of time. And the lead singer of that band, Blackie something, I bet they're like tight friends. I'll bet that would make sense. He could be the new lead singer of Motley Crue if they put out a third album. I'll bet that's the guy.
I don't know. That band is crazy. They're crazy.
I was never a fan of Wasp, but maybe. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It's so tragic, so I don't know. I mean, it's too bad too because Motley really put out a great record. Like, I mean, to get back to the music aspect of it, that Shout at the Devil is really good. So like one of those things. Can't wait to see what they come up with next. I mean, they're obviously on a roll. So
it's too bad that Van Halen, they're such tight friends because if something didn't work out with David Lee Roth, I mean, he certainly could fill in for Vince. So
no, bite your tongue. That's one band that's sacred. I know that those guys will always be together, and I know that like 30 years from now, I'll be going to see a Van Halen concert.
Oh, they're like the godfathers of the movement.
Roth is too goofy for Motley Crue. Seriously. What? Roth is too goofy for Motley Crue.
Oh my gosh, all those guys on the Sunset Strip, they wish that they were David Lee Roth.
That may be, but
with his
Roth
kicks,
is still too goofy.
His moves.
Roth is still too goofy
his
for
chest
Motley
hair.
Crue. Oof. It's not metal enough. He's not metal enough.
His long flowing hair.
With that big old spot on the front.
he's sort of like the quintessential front man.
Oh, yeah.
At least these days. I mean, we don't have
Tight
Zeppelin
pants.
around anymore, so Robert Plant's not in the running anymore because he was the guy.
His big microphone.
But yeah, his big microphone. But Dave's sort of that guy. Roth is sort of that guy.
Yeah, but you don't see him in another band. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like you don't see him
moves.
in a. Speaking of, there's a Karate Kid movie out. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Excellent film.
No, I've heard some good things about that.
Excellent film. Very good. I highly recommend it.
You do?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Isn't that with the kid who used to play Chachi?
No. It's the guy, but it's funny you should say that, though, because the guy that's in it was the original Arnold from Happy Days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember the
All right.
Well, okay, I'm drawing a blank. What was the second Arnold guy?
Was it Al?
Al, right. That's right. That's exactly right. And Arnold was the Chinese guy or Japanese guy.
And he's the Karate Kid?
No, he's the sensei guy. He's the guy that teaches the Karate Kid.
Oh, okay. He's the karate teacher.
He's the karate teacher.
Oh, okay. Good movie?
He's also a janitor in the movie, in case you wanted to know.
All right, I'm confused now.
But is it a kid's movie?
I don't know. It's teenagers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like
so
wacky,
he's not a kid.
violent.
It's not a kid. It's not Karate Kid. Like,
well,
he's
he's
not
a
like a little
He's
6-year-old.
He's in high school.
Oh, okay.
So he's a teenager.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a child.
Okay.
But yeah, he's God damn, the whole thing is escaping me. But the guy who was the original Arnold in Happy Days is the karate teacher who teaches a kid from New Jersey karate to defend himself against the high school bullies.
Oh.
Basically, that's the rundown of the movie.
That's a good plot.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, and there's chicks in it. Not quite the chicks from Fast Times though. That's the
that was big time.
Risque.
Now we're talking.
It's like the Charlie's Angels girls or something.
So there's no blow,
That's
booze,
hot.
or birds?
No. Well, no, definitely not. Definitely not. All right, we are
Come on,
on
it's the 80s.
What's that?
It's the 80s. No blow, booze, or birds.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
I know. I feel you. All right, what do you got? What else? You got another one? I don't remember where we were at. I'm lost. We were talking about Vince Neil.
We were talking about Vince Neil
Right.
and how
Razzle.
Motley Crue is looking for a new singer.
Right, Razzle, Hanoi Rocks,
Yeah.
dead.
Deep Purple are going to reunite.
Yeah, I heard about this. This is a weird story too because it's sort of a long time coming. Although I liked a lot of the stuff that the guys have been doing outside of Deep Purple. But what's the story? What do you got?
Well, the first collection of new music from Deep Purple in 9 years features Richie Blackmore and Roger Glover, who's returning from Rainbow. John Lord of Whitesnake and what's his name? Ian
Gillan.
in
Pace.
Pace on the drummer.
Pace.
On the drums.
From the Gary Moore Band, and vocalist Ian Gillan.
Right, which is great because Gillan just did that Black Sabbath record, Born Again, and that tour's over now. So, which brings up a whole thing of like, as to where is Sabbath?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what the hell? What happened to Ozzy? I mean, I love the solo Ozzy, but
well, I like the Dio Ozzy.
Will he ever be in Black Sabbath again? Probably not.
I don't know.
them reuniting.
Well, who knows what's going to happen to Black Sabbath? Because now they're on their third singer, right? Well, they're just finished with their third singer. It's now become the Tony Iommi show because Geezer Butler's gone and Bill Ward is out. He found God somewhere with his sobriety.
Well, he hasn't been with them for a while now because they had Vinny Guy on the last couple of records playing drums.
Well, I think Bev Bevan did.
Oh, that's right. Bev Bevan from ELO is even on one of the records.
But that was because Bill Ward played a little bit on the Born Again record, and then he had this whole drinking problem, and he tried to not drink anymore, tried to get sober. Didn't work out so good.
Because he was hanging out with Vince Neil.
It's something Vince Neil should have learned.
Yes.
And then off he went. So Bill Ward didn't do the tour, and then here you go. And now you have this weird situation. So Sabbath now essentially is just Tony Iommi. But the Ian Gillan thing, I love that record. I think maybe you and I were the only ones that liked it, Joe. Yeah?
Yeah, I love, what's that one about the Disturbing the Priest? That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But, I think it's cool that he's back with some of the guys because, we haven't seen, Smoke on the Water live in a long time, and you never get tired of hearing that live. And, like Highway Star, you never get tired of hearing that stuff.
Well, yeah, he's back where he should be.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But I just feel bad for all of them, to be honest with you. I really do. I feel bad that that original record wasn't supposed to be a Sabbath record. The Born Again record wasn't supposed to be a Sabbath record, and then they made him call it Sabbath. So Ian Gillan sort of got the shaft, and Geezer Butler was pissed off, and it's become a whole disaster. But the only good news is that Gillan ends up back in Deep Purple.
Yay.
So that's the good news. Yeah.
Woo!
Listen, that's a good ending, right?
It is. Hey.
Although I would have liked to have gotten another record out of them, another Sabbath record.
Maybe Ozzy fronts Motley Crue.
Well, they did tour together. I saw, what was it, last year, I think it was, when Motley did some dates opening for Ozzy. And, of course, they played together at the US Festival last year, which was bonus. But, I remember in Cream, or in Circus Magazine, they had all those stories of how Nikki Sixx was talking about on the road with Ozzy and how they were always, like, playing this game of one-upmanship of, I could snort ants and I could snort something else and, just those wacky kids. It's no wonder that Vince is, in the kind of trouble he's in. Those guys are just living the party lifestyle 24/7.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. If Ozzy is looking much worse for the wear these days, I would be shocked if that guy finishes his own tour, let alone tries to front another band. But he couldn't front Motley. Think about it. Ozzy's like here, and Motley's still, a full level below. I mean, Ozzy's he's Ozzy.
Ozzy needs to go to the Betty Ford Clinic. That's all I know. He's not going to make it.
Yeah, I don't know that
He might not make it to a next album.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think he's looking worse for the wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. All right, Rach, you got another one, or are we good to go? Oh, you want to talk about
Use the video awards?
Yeah, let's talk about the video awards.
Okay.
Absolutely. We've avoided this topic all night, waiting for you.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
So, a spokesperson for the MTV Music Television have confirmed plans to make the Video Awards ceremony to be aired as an annual event.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a one-off this year.
That was highly entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I felt like our music was embraced, right?
Yeah, I love the award, the Moon Man.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the cool guy Grammy. Is what it is, you know what I mean? It's like the...
this surpassed the Grammys.
No, I mean, it's the
like
cool guy
Yeah,
Grammys.
it's the people's Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the people want to see.
Sort of, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
And
I
all
don't
the
want to see all of
hijinks.
it, but yeah, some of it. We'll talk about it. Who was the... talk about some of the highlights.
Well, we had Madonna.
Mhm.
Who, she was a huge highlight. She's probably
Mhm.
the biggest star there.
Yeah.
popped out of, came down a cake,
Mhm.
rolled around on the ground.
Mhm.
Everybody saw her undies.
Mhm.
She made such a splash on the cover of magazine. By the way, I heard that she's dating Spicoli in real life.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, let's party.
Yes, they met on her video for Like a Virgin.
So basically, Spicoli blew all the money he got from saving Brooke Shields from drowning to get Madonna to date him.
Instead of hiring Van Halen for his birthday party. Wow, I don't know.
Something like that.
That's wacky.
Can you imagine those two together?
She's really popular right now. She's kind of controversial, and I just wonder. I mean, does that translate into a career, or is it just like a huge flash for a few minutes? Is she just like a quick fad? Because all the girls are like dressing like her now and wearing like the little lace things and the exposed belly thing and
the guys would be happy to keep her around, I'm sure.
Yeah. Listen, we live in the age of MTV now, folks. She's not going away. You know what I mean? She's going to be plastered all over the MTV, and she's going to be on every magazine cover and all that kind of stuff. No, she's not going away anytime
cute,
soon.
She's controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll be at least around for a few years.
And she writes nice pop songs, so she's not going away anywhere anytime soon. I don't think. Anyway, I'd be shocked if this was a one and done kind of deal.
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
So she's here until she starts to cover up or she starts to get some wrinkles. I don't
She's
know.
cute.
She's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I found weird though about the MTV Awards, which was a really good show, and it had I'm really glad, like you said, that it's going to be an annual thing because that's pretty cool. But you would have thought that like Madonna and like some of the people that you see on MTV all the time would be the ones winning all the awards. I thought it was really weird that Herbie Hancock won 5 awards for that little sort of robot video he did for what's it called, Rocket. He won like 5 Moonman awards, and I mean it's cute, but I don't really think of him as like cutting edge MTV rock and roll guy.
Well, but isn't that what's great about MTV? I guess, right? It's the diversity of it all. You get things like Bruce Springsteen in Born in the USA, and then you get Madonna and her cuckoo-ness, and you get the retarded Wham. I just had to throw that in there.
But Herbie Hancock, he's kind of an extension of what disco left off with, what we have now with the synths, and and a little bit of what Debbie Harry did with Blondie, with a little bit of that rap stuff that's coming in.
That'll never catch on.
Well, so it plays on a little. It's fresh and it's new. It's a new sound. So I mean, I could see where he gets those awards, and the video is kind of interesting. It's a little creepy and interesting effects.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. We have to remember this is the MTV Video Awards. You know what I mean? We are not talking about, this isn't the Grammys where it's based on musical merit or whatever they say they're based on. It's based on videos and who's going to make cool videos. And I think where we all benefit is we get to see these really bitchin' videos now, because now it's a race to have who has the coolest video.
Right.
And that's pretty cool.
And what we've been seeing is a lot of, makeup, smoke, and mirrors. And that's something different. So it's fresh, and I think the music videos will head in that direction.
Yeah, I remember just like in the last year or two how dramatically it's changed on that channel, because when they first started out, they were playing a lot of old clips because they just didn't have the content. They'd show a lot of like Rod Stewart or Hall & Oates or whatever, a lot of the same stuff that you used to see back on like Don Kirshner or Midnight Special. I wish those shows were still on, but that's so like 5 years ago now. But they're actually making like storylines in these videos, and they're pretty to look at, and it's cool. It kind of exposes you to some stuff. Like I said, I wouldn't have listened to Duran Duran otherwise, because they're just another new wave band with skinny ties on KROQ, not to mention another crosstown radio station. But the songs aren't that bad. It's just really keyboard heavy, and it's kind of goofy, but somewhere underneath it all, there's actually a good song here and there. Like they got this one song on their Rio record called "Save a Prayer," and if like Asia did that, it would actually have been like a pretty cool song. Or if Yes did that, I wouldn't mind it. It's not a bad song.
Well, I don't mind looking at them because they're foxy.
I just want to punch him in his non-sexual balls and have him like grow a pair. Like, come on.
Who?
What's wrong with the silly singer guy?
Oh,
Simon
no.
Le Bon. I just, come on, man. Like, these guys all sound so freaking boring and lame. Just like, you need your rock. Like, where's your balls?
But that's the thing, is women love that. They love guys that look like women. I mean, that's the thing now.
Come to Hollywood on a Friday or Saturday night. You'll see all you need.
I mean, who doesn't want to borrow makeup from your boyfriend? Or share clothes?
That's fair.
In this economic time,
No,
I mean,
bro,
come on.
that's Reaganomics. It'll do it to you.
There you go.
I'm with you on all of that kind of stuff, but I don't need to hear your music. That's all I'm saying.
Well, all this talk about androgynous pop stars on MTV is making me want to go to where the real men play real guitars and play some real rock and roll. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for something off the brand new Triumph album. This is off Never Surrender.
Seven and the Ragged Tiger, the new album by Duran Duran, emerging as one of the premier musical forces in the world. Oh, Seven and the Ragged Tiger, Duran Duran, hear it now. Our wait is over.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Welcome back into the Used Bin. All right, we're going to go back to Rach. We're going to do the top 10 videos on MTV this week. Rach?
Yes.
What do you got?
All right, because we won our MTV. We got number 10, ZZ Top, Legs. Number 9, Rat, Round and Round.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Milton Berle, right?
Yeah, that's a weird combo.
And his large wiener.
And his dress. Number 8, we have Billy Joel, Uptown Girl.
Cute.
Supermodel.
We'll take it.
Let me just say about Billy Joel. He's a little bit too happy right now. This kind of reminds me of like I don't know, kind of like when Phil Collins started making like happy songs, like on his first solo record, or his second solo record, I should say. Because when he was going through his divorce, like around Duke and the first Phil Collins solo record, he was really depressed and he was making really good music. And now he's just a little too happy.
Dude, have you seen Christy Brinkley in that video?
I understand why he's happy.
All right, that's all I got. That's all I'm going to say. Because if Christy Brinkley was in my video, I'd be thrilled.
Let him be happy.
Yeah,
that's fair. And to be fair, I mean, come on, let's look at Billy Joel. With he's got the Jew-fro going on. He's I don't know how that even worked out. I could totally imagine her with like the guy from Wham, or like Rob Halford, but not Billy Joel.
The guy from Wham, that would be your little sister. All right, let's go.
All right, we have number 7,
Yes.
David Bowie, China Girl.
Nice, love that song.
Yes.
Very good.
Number 6 is Twisted Sister, We're Not Gonna Take It.
Talk about little concept fun videos that we like. That's
the guy
perfect
from,
example of that.
Guy from Animal House, right? What was his name? Niedermeyer, right? That's a great little video. It's almost like one of those like Roadrunner cartoons.
Well, again, it's
one
just
of those
like
Warner
a
Brothers
cute
cartoons.
It's a cute concept video. It's fun. It's like a little story. You can follow along.
It's like an after-school special.
It is like
if
an
you
after.
will.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Number 5 is Madonna, Borderline. Of
course.
Rolling Around on the Ground.
Right.
Number 4, we have Van Halen with Jump. Very
Right.
controversial, this one.
Yes.
Yes, we got the synths.
Yeah, a lot of keyboards, and I remember hearing. I mean, if you're being really technical, this is really sort of their first official video, which is weird for a band that's so huge. They did one on the last record on Diver Down for Pretty Woman, but MTV wouldn't play it because there was a cross-dresser in it. And before that, they only had a couple of like live clips, but they've never actually done a studio video. And I heard they made this one for Jump for like $150. It was shot on like a handheld camera or something.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier, which is that the video, I mean, the song, it's a weird song because of all the keyboards and all that kind of stuff. But come on. The formula works video-wise, doesn't it? Hot chick, teacher, stripping, the whole deal. I mean, it's a formula that you can't lose with.
Yeah, but listen, you just said that they went and showed the video because of a cross-dresser, and number 9 is a rap video. They have a cross-dresser.
Yeah, but Milton Berle, it's Uncle Milty. Like, he can do anything he wants.
Yeah, that's true. He gets away with it because he's old school vaudevillian guy or whatever.
So there's a loophole, you're saying?
No, it's just a double standard.
Oh, okay, there you
Flat
go.
out.
All right.
Yeah, the cross-dresser was actually George Michael, from what I hear. Just saying.
He's straight.
Dude, he's straight.
He's
I'm
so
telling you, he's straight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He sure is. He's about as straight as a U-turn.
Gay guys don't look like that.
Okay.
Okay, what's the rest of the top 10?
Okay, so number 3, we have the Eurythmics with Sweet Dreams.
Cool.
They won. I think they won an MTV award the other night.
And that's an interesting band.
Yeah.
That's good. I heard.
Did they qualify as band, or are they just a duo?
Well, a duo, and I think they're in a relationship, aren't they? Together?
Oh, I don't know. That would make sense. She's kind of strange looking. I don't know her name, but with the red hair, the short red hair, it's kind of weird looking.
She kind of looks like George Mike. No, she doesn't. I'm just kidding. Yeah, she is weird looking, Annie Lennox or whatever. Isn't that her name, Annie Lennox?
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but
yeah,
it's interesting.
I love the song.
Yeah.
Song's great.
Number 2, we have Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. She's a kooky one.
It's a good song. I got to admit, and it's like that whole thing of her like living in the trailer, and it's it got a great little storyline and everything. But the first song was such a huge pop hit, and it kind of put me off the whole girls just want to have fun thing. It was like, I don't know, it wasn't for me. And,
No?
But the Time After Time song, I got to admit, like a guilty pleasure. It's actually a pretty good song.
I predict that I don't think she has staying power, but I do see myself in 30 years from now being on an elevator somewhere and hearing that song. So
you have to remember, like, I think we're still confusing the fact because of MTV, because still the newness of MTV.
Yeah.
We're confusing songs with videos. Like the whole, I mean, I think the reason that that's in the top, what is that, number 3?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, the song is good, I'll agree with you, but it's really about the video, right? Because the video is really good.
Yeah.
So I think you could have a really average song. In fact, maybe you could even have a bad song. But if you make a bitchin' cool video, it'll be on MTV. It doesn't make a difference.
And you have to look good, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You either have to look good or have a good concept.
Yeah, it's got to have a whole story or thing. I mean, look, the Twisted Sister guys, they don't look so good. But the video is so fun and so silly, and it's why it works.
Yeah.
So that's at number 2?
That's at number 2.
So that begs the obvious question, Rachel. What is the number 1?
Huey Lewis with The Heart of Rock and Roll.
Nice. Yeah, very good. Well, we like Huey Lewis. We were just talking about Huey not too long ago.
His videos are cute.
Yeah.
They're fun.
And he's such a, like an, I don't want to say old school, but it feels very like, it's a very natural kind of thing. There's not a ton of like overproduced stuff going on, and there's no wacky, out of place keyboards happening. There's no shtick and there's no gimmick. I just feel like he just writes really good pop songs, and the band goes out and plays them really well.
Yeah, it's a sound from another time.
Yeah, that's true. And any lead singer who plays that kind of rock and roll, who can rock a harmonica in 1984, is still pretty good. I think that's a good deal. It's funny. You're talking about how
Limbo fan.
Talking about how. Like if you've got an okay song and a great video, it'll still like become popular.
Right.
I thought of an example that's exactly the opposite, where it was actually a really good song, but the video was so atrocious that I predict right here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Used Bin Show, that it's going to be the kind of video that could destroy somebody's career.
You think?
Have you seen the new Billy Squier video?
Yes.
For Rock Me Tonight.
Yes.
Now, I was a fan. Emotions in Motion was a great record, and some of those early hits, The Stroke. I mean, that's good arena rock, and the guy could play guitar and solid,
especially after a good bong hit, The Stroke.
Sure, but he's got this new song, Rock Me Tonight, which isn't a bad song. A little bit of keyboards, but whatever. Everybody's doing it. But then somebody at the record label probably told him, "I got a great idea for you to capture the female segment of the audience. We're going to put you in this little T-shirt off the shoulder, and we want you to prance around your bedroom and jump up and down on your bed." That's a career-destroying video. That's all I have to say about that.
Have you ever been alone after a long night? Maybe out at a show.
Prancing around my bedroom? No. Where are you going with
alone.
this? Yeah.
Long night out.
Right.
A lot of shows.
A lot of shots?
A lot of people. A lot of shots.
Okay.
Maybe
Long Island iced tea or two at the Rainbow?
Maybe a bong hit here and there.
Okay. And I like where you're going.
And you turn off the lights.
Right.
You put on the Stroke.
Stroke me, stroke me.
Thumbs up or thumbs down on the...
I'd say it's probably happened before.
Fair.
We've all been there.
Absolutely.
We've all been there.
Hey, we've all
done crazy things.
We've all killed a few sperm that way, haven't we?
We've all,
I'll have to admit, yeah. If you spend a long night at the Rainbow
right
after a show, you come home and you're alone, you're probably doing it.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Now, back to what you were originally saying. I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
About Billy Squier.
Whereas somebody, and Rachel, you mentioned that somewhere on the top 10 list was a David Bowie video.
Mm-hmm.
And
China Girl, right?
China Girl. Now, this guy, he's got the best of both worlds because he's David Bowie, so he writes quality material all the time. And he's been putting together some great videos. I think this is an example of somebody who's really embraced the medium of making videos.
Sure.
And
he's such a creative guy anyway.
And a total chameleon, because you think back, like, like 4 years ago, he was doing like Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, and he was in all the weird get-ups, and a couple years before that, he was just like doing the whole Thin White Duke thing with the white angular suits, and a few years before that, he was doing Ziggy.
A medium like MTV was built for a guy like David Bowie.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
I mean, he fully embraces it as much as I think glam rock is made for sort of an MTV kind of thing.
Right.
You know, that Hanoi Rocks band where unfortunately Razzle died.
They really look like chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
They really look like chicks.
That's another. I feel like that's for that medium, you know, like that medium of video music embraces it, and Bowie is a perfect example of that. Not to mention that I got to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest Bowie fan in the world. I like him. I'm not the biggest Bowie fan, but I really like that record.
I hate to say it, but this is almost like on a bigger scale. This is like what we were talking about earlier with like Yes and Genesis, and these were like our top secret bands that only a few of us in the cult knew about when they were playing, you know, Tales of Topographic Oceans or The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, or when Bowie was doing like Low or Station to Station. I mean, yeah, they were out there and they were playing big gigs and everything, but it was still sort of like our little secret.
Sure.
And now Yes is everywhere. Genesis is making pop songs. David Bowie is suddenly, it's cool for everybody to like David Bowie, where before you were sort of you were on the fringe, you were sort of the outcast Bowie fan.
And Rush is making records like Grace Under Pressure.
Yeah, and Billy Squier won't have a career in 6 months.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It is. And listen, I could turn that into just sort of a broader picture, if you will, is that we're here in 1984, and if you think about where we've been and where and we're still early in the decade, right? We're almost halfway through, but it's fair to say we're early in the decade.
Right.
This has been an unbelievable 4 years of music.
Yeah.
In the 70s, we had some rock, but we were still, getting over the misery of disco.
Right.
And look at where we are now. We've got art rock bands that are becoming pop bands. We've got MTV. You've got all of this kind of stuff going on. You've got hard rock bands. You have all this stuff that's happening in this big melting pot. I mean, music is in a good, healthy place.
Yeah.
It's really a good time.
And album sales and cassette sales have probably never been bigger.
Sure.
This is a good time.
It really is.
Like, it's funny, like I get like the calendar section of the LA Times, and it's always got the concert announcements. And it's funny because, they have the full page ads of whoever's going to be coming to town, and that's how you find out what concerts you're going to be going to in the next couple of months.
Right.
And it's also how I find out how I'm going to be spending my Sunday evenings, because invariably I have to go camp out at Ticketron, because Monday morning is when tickets are always going on sale. So I'm always, Sunday night, I know I'm going to be with the boombox and like a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, sitting on the sidewalk waiting for Monday morning to roll around to buy concert tickets.
Right.
Unless you do the charge line thing. You can buy tickets from the comfort of your home, from your home now on the phone, which is cheating. You got to go line up for tickets. You got to do it.
Yeah.
But when I go down to Ticketron, it's funny, they open up the doors, and you could always see, this influx of people that aren't even there just for tickets. They're there to buy music. And more than ever, it's not like the days of, there's a new Zeppelin record or the new Stones or the Who record. It's like now people need that record the first day.
Well, yeah.
There's more anticipation. It's like MTV's kind of like led the way to make it cool to buy music. It's not just what the stoners do anymore.
It's become the perfect companion to radio.
Yeah.
And it's really great. I mean, it's one of those things that, we're in our cars to go to and from work, to and from school, to and from wherever it is you're going. But, you go home and you sit down in front of the television and you're watching your radio. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And again, I just think music is in such a healthy place. It's phenomenal. You can't wait to see what the rest of the decade's going to bring, just genre-wise. I mean, it's crazy. If you listen to that band Simple Minds,
right,
love it. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. But it's pretty good.
Okay.
And it's all over the MTV. I like calling it the MTV.
The MTV,
yeah,
sure.
I like it. They're all over the MTV. It's really good. And I don't know if I would have listened to that. I don't know if that gets played on my local radio station.
Yeah.
So
it's
good.
Another one like that, I totally know what you mean. Another one like that and probably one of the biggest bands around right now, who 4 or 5 years ago, they were just another sort of new wave, almost punkish band out of England, the Police.
Right.
And now they're huge. Last year, they had the Synchronicity album, and they've been touring. They've even been playing stadiums with Synchronicity. And sort of the last word on music news for tonight is I was reading somewhere that they're now that they've finished up the Synchronicity tour. I think the last show was at Shea Stadium. They're thinking of taking a break. So I was thinking about that. What does a band like the Police do on a break? I mean, it's not like they're going to make solo records, right? I mean,
well, they might.
I can't imagine like a Sting solo record.
I don't know. It wouldn't shock me, I guess.
He's just the singer of the Police.
Yeah, but you remember, like, you have to start thinking in broader terms now because of these, like the MTV. It's a perfect example. I mean, all he has to do, he can go out and make a little record. It doesn't matter what. The guy's got a ton of dough, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he does.
That's true.
He'll go out and do a record of just him farting for 45 minutes, and then he'll make a little video for it and throw it on the MTV. And it's like, throwing something against the wall, and if it sticks, then he's got a hit.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, speaking of bands on the road, this is sort of our last segment of the evening, and this is where we like to talk about the bands that are hitting the concert trail, if you will.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So who's coming on tour? What do we have to look forward to?
Well, we talked about it briefly, but we do have a new... There we go.
Little loud.
I just heard myself yelling in my own ear, and I couldn't hear over myself, and I hate when that happens. I did see that we talked earlier about the Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Why is everything with the why everything tonight is the Iron Maiden?
Yeah, right.
Yes. So we have Iron Maiden coming, which is good, right? We got a new tour from them, and I think we have a Styx tour.
Yeah, this is interesting, actually. Styx is touring. Kilroy was here.
Right. Big show.
Big show. My understanding is they're going to do it sort of like when Genesis did The Lamb, or like almost like when Floyd did The Wall a couple of years ago.
Right.
They're going to do it as a big like conceptual rock piece with costume changes and dialogue, and should be interesting. I mean, this could be their defining piece of work. Maybe in years from now, people will think Styx, Kilroy was here.
Yeah, listen, it's big. Dennis DeYoung, big, kind of show tune kind of singer.
Right.
This is a big kind of showy Broadway kind of record.
Right.
It'll be a big showy Broadway kind of show.
Right.
So I'm in.
What else? We got...
How about the Robert Plant show?
Yeah, I was going to say,
that
Robert Plant, I'm excited about that. Obviously, this is his first tour since Zeppelin. It's his second solo record. And I love the fact, if the rumors are true, he's going to bring Phil Collins out on the road with him as his drummer. Phil's got his hands in everything right now, from solo albums to Genesis.
Right.
He's producing other people. I even heard he's like working with one of the girls from ABBA now on her solo record. So he's got his hands in everything. Plus, Rachel was talking about the Bob Geldof charity song.
Right.
I think he's involved in that. So he's got his hands in everything, and so he's going to tour with Robert Plant. What does that look like? Is he going to play a bunch of Zeppelin material and mix in a few solo songs? I don't know what that
it's
even looks like.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say borderline awkward.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine. Doesn't he have to play Zeppelin?
Yeah, I guess he's got to close with Stairway, right?
Well, I mean, how many songs is he going to play that aren't? How many songs does he have?
Well, he's got two solo albums, but everybody in the place,
play them all?
Everybody in the place is going to be wanting to hear, Stairway and Whole Lot of Love.
All of those songs.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what he could play.
One other upcoming tour that I wanted to mention, just because you'd have to be living under a rock not to know that one of the biggest tours of the year is going to be Triumph on the Never Surrender tour, because they're probably the most exciting live band around today. I mean, between the smoke bombs and the flash pots and the fire and the lasers, these guys are sort of the kings of arena rock right now.
And Rick Emmett is just a god. And Rick Emmett can sing
and will
his
continue
ass
to be.
Off. That guy's he is an unbelievable live singer. That guy, phenomenal.
That's true.
If you talk about musicianship,
Right.
talking about guys that can do it on a record and then do it better live.
Yeah.
That's Triumph.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Probably the best at what they do right
They're
now.
Canadian.
And that's about it. Like you said though, early on, Iron Maiden, that's going to be a great show to see because the Power Slave album is great, and it'll be nice to see him.
It will be nice to see him. To see him will be nice.
It will be. It will be.
Rach? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Rach, before we go, just a quick question. How many days are in March? 31?
31.
Right. And so after the 31st day of March, what is the next day?
April Fools.
Good night, everybody.
Used Bin Radio. What are you listening to?
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
You're listening to a live internet broadcast on Pure Rock Radio.
At PureRockRadio.net.